like a hard truth is that maybe he's not built like an NFL running back. He got to put on a lot of size and strength, or even
Right.
more speed to be able to transition to the brutality of the NFL, the National Football League. We look
Well,
at
he has
guys
to
like
pick a lane.
what would be your purpose for telling the kid that though? Unless you're trying to, you can go to somebody and say, hey, you may need to lose a little bit of weight. You can gain, you can do this, you can do that, woo, woo, woo. But let's just say if that was the case, and I'm not saying it's not. What would be your purpose for telling the kid that? You know what I'm saying?
I think I think because so many South Florida kids, like you see Schroeder, you see Rich, they got a wall full of them, of South Florida guys who end up going to the shout out to everybody in the chat, um, who are all trying to go to that level. But the reality is, in South Florida, you can be great. You can be the best thing you ever seen and still struggle to make a team. And we see that with guys like Duke Johnson, who I feel like is arguably one of the greatest running backs I ever saw. And it still may not be enough. I don't know if it's a size thing for Duke, but it's a reality. And I think Alonzo is tired of us not being able to have a particular caliber of players when he watched firsthand myriads of guys go on to the NFL and be absolute stars, like Hall of Famers. He watched it firsthand. And then he transitioned into being an executive, general manager, and an NFL scout. He saw it, and he knows what it looks like. And unfortunately, these kids is not. They're coming here, they're getting a scholarship, and then are getting told you're not what it looks like. And maybe we spent so many years putting these kids in this mindset that if you work hard enough, you can do that. Yeah, maybe that harsh reality is showing up in the locker room, and it's basically like you guys just waiting this out until your replacement get here. I think I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, Street. Didn't Kevin Smith say something like that in the offseason while he was doing drills with the running backs? He said, "I'm here to something like you muted, but something about
My job is to out recruit you. Your job is to. That's what he said. He said my job is
Right.
to out recruit you. I'm always looking for the next player. Basically, your job is not to get out recruited.
All right, man. There's nothing wrong with
And
that
I
though.
and I remember Twan saying, "Listen, bro, they telling them right off the bat. They telling them. They telling them.
But, that,
So
but
listen.
that's
So
the
real
difference.
fast. Go ahead, Cal. Run it, and then I'm
No,
gonna
I was just
I'm
gonna
gonna
say real
intro
quick.
everything because we just got going. Go
Oh,
ahead, do
I'm
your thing.
sorry.
Do your thing.
Just
You ain't
real
gotta be
quick.
sorry. You good, bro. Run it.
That's a difference though. That's one of those. Hey, boy, you gonna have to work hard to keep these niggas off your back. That's the difference between telling the kid that he ain't got it, and nobody's saying that that's what was said. But I'm just saying, when you coming in, that's not something that you do because regardless, just to see, I got to go to battle with these people. I can't tell this guy that he's not this and not that, and I got to finish the season with you. So now it's not the time for that. Now we get to the off season, maybe if I want to try to encourage you to go ahead and transfer or whatever. I still wouldn't say anything like that. I wouldn't put it to you like that. I could tell you like, hey man, we looking for more size, more speed, or yada yada yada. So my question stays remains the same. Like, yeah, you may be used to seeing certain bodies and we may not have them, but that still holds no weight when it comes to telling the kid that he's not this or he's not that because this is the guy you got to be in the foxhole with, and I need you as confident as can be in that foxhole. Like y'all remember when T Will got here? T Will said, "I think we got the players. They right there, and like, you have to do that. That's what you're supposed to do." So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't see the purpose for doing that.
So listen, 786-405-9499. Y'all just jumped in here. If you want to call, that's IOD Squad, 786-405-9499. Just text us here, IOD Squad, if you've been trying to figure out what Bitcoin was or NFTs was, or you're trying to learn how to invest. Also, the same number for the call-in show. So the call-in show number is scrolling at the bottom. If anybody asks what the number is, scrolling at the bottom. Give us a call. See if we can set this up. Give us a call, and then we'll get you in here. We're gonna open that up, and maybe 15 minutes we'll open that up. The call-in portion of the thing. Miami goes down today. Uh, Miami goes down. I don't even know the score. I got the stats right here in front of me that they sent us. 45-21 in a weird game. I'm gonna let my guys get a take, and then I give y'all my take. But I'll tell y'all right off the back. Today we were the bigger team. Today Duke looked like they didn't want to be there. They looked like Duke looked like they didn't want to be there. Duke looked like, holy shit, Vegas got us by 10, and Vegas must be right. You know what I'm saying? And the game started off, and the first quarter looked that way. But like Floyd Mayweather said, show me a man with $1 million and no plan, and I show you a broke man. It doesn't matter if Duke didn't come to play if you really are here to give the game to Duke. Basically, you're here to say, hey, Turner, we finna set a record today, bitch. Y'all ain't finna lay down. Yeah, I think we gonna make this a game. So listen, man, if y'all want to call in, we're gonna open that up in maybe 15, 20 minutes. But I'm gonna let Maddie, KB, and Rich get their take on the game and what they saw today. And basically, I mean, at this point, it's just looking at it and going through the process. I mean, that is what it is. It's looking at it and going through the process. I know it's painful. I know you feel betrayed if one of those brains that's instant microwave brains. You know what I'm saying? I know you feel betrayed. I know you could come up with 1,000 different scenarios. Today, yes, Manny would have won this game. All those goofy scenarios. Manny and Lashley would have won this game. I don't heard that 8 times walking out the stadium. Yes, they would have won this game. Yeah. But also probably Al Golden and also probably Randy Shannon, and y'all see where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Y'all see where I'm going with this. When I went to the Marine Corps, them motherfuckers did not play with me. They had to break me down and then build me up. It wasn't patty cake. It wasn't a way to get around it. It wasn't a way to fucking skip boot camp. It wasn't a buy one, get out of free card. They had to break me down and build me up to the point when I graduated. I went to put my same clothes on I came in, and it was like I could have put another person in them, and I didn't even realize that my body had changed like that. My mind had changed. Wasn't thinking about sex all the time. They broke me down. Some breaking down going on. So talk to me, KB, bro. What you saw the other day? KB, you there? Manny, what you saw the other day, bro?
It's so polarizing, honestly. Because there are times where I see a team that's like willing to fight and they care and they're putting everything on their backs, and then I don't know what teams come out the tunnel the next week. There are times where I see a defense that's getting to the quarterback and Akeem Mesto got 3 sacks, and the next week Akeem show up. The rest of the defense, no clue. We were talking before we got on about we kind of interjected into the conversation about some guys just not quote unquote having it, and why we're so high on Kobe Young. But man, if Kobe Young can walk into this program in August or September and immediately come in and be the leading receiver again against he woke that stadium up. If he could come in and do that, and those are the guys Highsmith sees,
Hmm.
am I supposed to be mad if I know KB was talking about it too, and maybe not saying that because we have to be in the foxhole, and I completely understand that. But at the same time, this is a transfer portal. What's it called? This is a transfer portal era, and these kids can hop in that portal, and depending on who they are, they might not hop back out. They not doing the things that they need to play competitive Miami Hurricane football. And yeah, there is some coaching aspect that does have to go with that. Yeah, there is some talent and development aspect that has to go with that. But at what point are we gonna kind of start seeing what this team is made of? Hayes pointed out, I hate to take his tape, but it's like he got one plug trying to fill all these holes in a boat. Every time you seem to fix one problem, another hole pop up. And that's everybody pointing a finger at. Oh, it's coaching. Josh Gaddis, he sucked.
Hmm.
But at some point, we got accountability got to be spread all the way around, right, from the top all the way down to the bottom. So that's all I got. Sorry, it sounds so foreboding.
Especially, yeah, man. You sound like you all right, man. You okay with that, man? Huh?
I saw a game, and I'm gonna have my chance to talk about it. What I saw a little bit more, but I saw a game that was very winnable, and I saw us once again figure out a way to lose it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's getting old real fast.
Shout out to Coach Hayes. Coach Hayes said footballville mama didn't have to hit TVD like that. She one tough one. This man here, man. Listen, I didn't see the hit. Was the hit bad? I saw it, but I was on the other side of the field. I mean, I was on the other
You, la-
end in the end zone.
From
you landed on top of him, so automatically you start thinking collarbone, and it was on his throwing arm or throwing
Mm-hmm.
shoulder. So it did look like it was a strain. But in the back of your head, you do start to say to yourself, and I'm not saying this, I don't
careful,
want to speculate this at all. I know because people gonna take it and run with it.
What?
You start to say to yourself, maybe this is his out. You know, maybe he could
Oh,
dissipate some of
okay.
that pressure and wait.
I
I
thought
don't think
about
he's
it.
like that, but yeah,
I thought about it, but I mean, we'll never be able to figure that out. The Bubba Bolden thing was last year was obvious to me. Um,
right.
so listen, man, Miami goes down. Couple of stats, I guess. Yeah, you want to hear stats? This is craziness. Miami goes down, goes up 7-0, and then allows 17 points in the second quarter. Uh, I'm sure if I look at, there had to be a record in here broken or something with turnovers or something. It had to be at some point in time. Let's see. Rushing. Miami had 31. What? Miami had
They had
105.
yeah, and then negative 50 yards
They
from
netted, right.
sacks.
They netted 50 yards, right. And then they netted 48 yards. Wow. 48 yards. That is weird. Their quarterback threw for 136 and he ran for 72. They didn't okay. They, they didn't do it. They didn't do a lot stat wise.
they
I think
didn't.
the biggest
We gave him
right
half
the
the field
biggest
straight.
the biggest stat right the biggest stat was um the turnovers, right? I mean, kept putting them in short distance, short distance, short distance over and over again, like just bending the defense over and just over and over and over again. James went out with an injury. I think that may be serious. When it rains, it pours. Um, he was seen in a walking boot. That may be serious. Chase Smith out for the year. Steve, I think, out for the year. Royal out for the year. Rashad, MIA, motherfucking APV out on him. I saw a goddamn alert come across the screen. Um, Amber Alert came across the screen for Rashad Smith. Um, it's it's a it's a lot going on from a change, everything changing, and at the same time everything changing, everything falling apart. Um, I'm sure that there's a lot of things going on there that he doesn't want the media to see. I'm sure that's why we don't have access to the practice right now. I'm sure because he don't want us to see like what's going on and what's have to happen and what has to be applied in order to create change. I remember when Coach Rocco came to Miami New Orleans, they were winning 4 games. What he did to turn it into a team that was ranked in the state, 1 game away from being ranked in the nation. Um, what he did, it almost seemed insane to the people who were trying to make the basketball team. And only the ones who really, really wanted to play were able to fucking do what he was asking us to do. And in 3 years, we were number one in the state. 2 years, we were number one in the state. And I always go back to that in life when I saw where did hard work come from? Like, where did I get hard work from? And it goes back to that. It looked like insanity. It looked like we were obsessed with basketball, not playing basketball. And to some people, it was too much. And they didn't make it. There's a lot going on down there. I'm not making excuses for Mario because whatever he inherited is his $80 million problem, and he's gonna have to fix it. That's why we brought him here to fix it. KB,
Yo,
you there this time, dog? You all right?
yeah, I'm good. I'll chime in. Y'all go ahead. I got too much noise going on.
Okay, Rich, what you saw today, bro?
Um, real simple. I think that it was a bunch of empty. It's a bunch of empty calories, and it has been all season. And the reason I say that is because we put up all these stats, but we can't score, and we say it over and over again. We're like, yeah, we had 400 yards passing, but we only scored 20 something points. Like, what are we really doing? Is it like, because I know the field position plays a part in all that, but it's like we just can't, because there's so many holes that we have to plug. One game the passing game is working, but the running game isn't. Special teams is atrocious. Next game we got 5 players hurt. The running game is working, but the passing game is atrocious. And it just seems like we can't score, even though, so it's like you're eating celery sticks for dinner. I also think that we can't make the tackles on defense that we need to make at the right times. So if it's third down, you know that this is a money down, and that's usually the down where we don't make the tackle. We're still tackling with our shoulder. We're still, not filling in. I hate those plays where it seems like screen passes. We're always in the wrong gap to make the play. We're always in the wrong gap. And then the guy squirts forward for 10, 15 yards and it's a first down. Why do we do that all the time? Why does this consistently happen? Another play that I saw was in cover 2 or in zone coverage when you're supposed to rotate off of your man. It's like we're never in position to rotate properly, right? And that's a very delicate thing too. If you've ever played football before, you ever played defense, it's a very delicate thing. You have to really know and understand if you can execute that. If you know that you are not going to be in your position, or you have personnel that are not roving over and being in position when they need to be, then you got to switch it up. You got to do something different. And I feel like we do that all the time. We've seen it probably the third time where a, the opposing team gets a first down because our coverage doesn't transition fast enough when they're in zone. Um, the last thing for me is our morale is low, just like you said. You know, we talked about Alonzo coming in and talking about what he saw with Kobe Young, right? And Kobe Young is proving him right as of now. For some of the other players that he might have been critical towards, it's your time to either put up or shut up. Back in the day, you had to have tough skin. Hey, if somebody told you that you suck, you went out there and you proved them wrong that you didn't suck. You didn't cry about it. So it's this is that time where you got to put up or shut up, and where mental toughness is going to be very important because you have more resources than a lot of those previous Canes teams did. You got more money than they did. You got NIL deals. You can help your mama out with her rent, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, what it boils down to is how hard you work and how bad you want to get to the next level. And you prove it based on what you put on tape on Saturday. So that's my take on it.
Hmm. Maybe you got something on that?
I'm just looking at the comments. The comments is interesting.
Yeah. Which one? Which one interesting? Did I miss anything? Did anybody make any? Hey man, hit the like button for us if y'all in here, man. We appreciate it. Don't dislike us. Don't dislike me. You know what I'm saying? Because I said the nightmare was over, and I got a rooster shirt on. Because my thought process is it is over. But goddamn, you know what I'm saying? We knew it was gonna be some dark days. Um, so hit
Hey,
the
don't
like button for us. Sheriff, go ahead.
no, yeah, like you said, hit the like button. I called this. I didn't want to have said I called this. It's not some eager brag. Um, I also said line that shit up. In the word to you, because I feel like this team did have an opportunity to prove we were over the hump, but yeah, like we all pretty much on the same page as far as the mindset. And I've been saying that too. That mindset, man, is important. It's huge. I don't know if you was on there when you talked about the Marine thing, but yeah, you probably need to beat that dead horse again because that's a huge that's a huge thing. Like people need to understand that if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, right? Um,
That's a
and
good one, though. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.
Mhm.
and for some of these kids, it's on the. I stole that from the from the wall in the base gym, but it's a true sentiment. You know what I'm saying? If things don't uh, if you don't see that adversity and see that process and that grind, it's not gonna change you. And it may change you for the worse, it may change you for the better, but if it doesn't challenge you, it's not gonna change you. So um, that's a top down thing. That's not a from Radakovich all the way down, right? It's not simply a player thing. It's for everybody. So people gotta
Hmm.
understand, man. It's this is we talk about it's a long road. We ain't get in the car yet. We still standing in the garage. We ain't, we ain't put our foot down on the brake pedal and hit the remote start. Or put the key in the ignition if you one of them type of people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to judge. Um, I'm just being honest.
All right,
This
shout out to Rashad. Oh, one second
no,
now
go
that
ahead.
you just remember your thought. Shout out to Rashad Hayes, man. People don't like to see sausage made. They just know they like how it tastes. You
Mhm.
wouldn't wonder if we saw how it was made. That's how you describe this rebuild. Woo! Rashad, I'm gonna send you $5 back, dog.
Mhm.
Cash
You
app.
need to
Where's your
come on,
cash app, sir?
call in.
Rashad Hayes said people don't like to see sausage made. They
That's why
just
I
know they
stopped
like
eating
how
red
it
meat.
tastes. Huh?
That's why I stopped eating red meat.
They just know how they just know they like how it tastes. You wouldn't want it if we saw it made. That's how to describe this rebuild. Yeah, man, and I don't think people want to hear. I don't think people want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? If you were to go, I was talking to Matt from 247, and he said he already wrote the article on coaches in their first year. He wrote it, and most of them win in their second year. But it's almost like people are saying, yeah, it's almost like they skipped the first year. Yeah, but they win in their second year. Do you think we can win in our second? I'm sure every one of them coaches' first year, people were looking like, oh, hell, Nick Saban 76. We hired the wrong one. All those coaches in their first year that were doing bad, I'm sure everybody was looking at it like, oh, man, maybe we got the wrong guy. But I keep reiterating, bro, with all this, bringing Charlie Strong, bringing Alonzo Highsmith, bringing Jason Taylor Hall of Famer, bringing Ed Reed, right? And I go back to me and us raising our kids and our kids not being as tough-minded or as resilient as we were because we were raised in gravel. You know what I'm saying? We were dealing with adversity from day one. But we tried to give our kids something better, and we realized that, holy crap, I forgot the gravel. So they may be more aware, they may be more smarter, they may be more attentive, they may be more business-minded, but you look at them wrong and they crumble. And all you can do is get in my daddy's speech. Man, my daddy, I remember one time my daddy drugged me by my foot around the corner 3 times. It don't matter. You didn't do it to him. These guys come in here and they put down on these kids that was from a previous regime that we know didn't even have the resources or the manpower to put down at the level that they were put down.
Right.
So it's either you get with the program or you get gone. And that can cause, and some emotional kids, boy, that can cause either fight or flight, dog. And I think what we saw today, because listen, in person, man, I'll tell y'all this. In person, our team is like limping around on the football field. There's a lot of them jokers out there like Keyshawn Smith. It's a lot of them jokers out, like our whole offensive line, like they're limping off the field. When I went to go talk to Mario, man, he talked about giving kids a Power 5 experience. So if he's saying hey, man, I just want to give these kids a Power 5 experience, then you got to ask yourself, what the fuck did he see when he got here? And whatever he saw, a lot of these kids were wallowing in it like pigs in slop for 3, 4, 5 years. And now he put a little more money in their pocket, and he said, no, bro, we ain't doing that no more. We doing it like this. And dog, let the weeding out process begin. Now, did it have to go this way? No. It didn't have to go this way. But we all know, man, in the first year of anything, Maddie, you a supervisor. You ever had to walk into a new command and change some shit? Maddie in the Army. You ever had to walk into a command and change something? You're a supervisor, right?
Air Force. Let's not get crazy.
Oh, damn. I thought you was in the Army, dog. Damn,
Air Force. You know what I'm saying?
You softer than I thought. Yeah. Hey. Hanging with you at the game last night, man. We could have got jumped, man. Hey, listen, man. Shout out to Maddie, man. Maddie did his thing last night on that Twitter account at the game last night, man. Maddie was walking out of the game. Maddie was like, "Street, man, I like this, man." I enjoyed myself tonight.
It was a good time, man. Honestly, and
ain't that Dalvin Cook? Ain't that Jam Cook? It's just a Friday night for me, dog. Yeah, it was a good time, man. But nah, But have you ever had to go into a command, right, and change something?
I've had to, as a flight chief. So, a flight is a collective of people, typically broken down by elements or squads or whatever. I've had to come in and instantly not not necessarily impose my will. It's always a slow process for me, but it's something I've done and I've had trials in. Right, sometimes I do it. When I initially started, I was doing it very badly, and I realized somebody had to pull me to the side, or I had to go get that insight from my actual subordinates and be like, "Hey, well, at first I didn't do it. I just did whatever my leadership told me, and then I realized how much that didn't work. And then I realized, um, as I got more and more experience as a supervisor coming into different commands, that I had to go about doing things a different way, as in pulling guys in, getting the perspective from up and down the chain of command. Right? It can't just be from the top, because the top don't always got all the insight of what's going on at the bottom, and the bottom certainly don't have the insight of what's going on at the top. And maybe that's what got to happen in here. But typically, yeah, I've been successful where I've gone because I've understood that when I show up somewhere, there's usually a bunch of stuff that's not happening. Like for me, I'm a what they would call a reg Nazi. No offense, I ain't trying to get you demonetizing like that. That's just the term that they use. Where I'm really big in reading regulations because I don't know why. I don't care why, but somebody got paid a lot of money to write regulations for almost everything in the United States Air Force. So I simply go back and refer to those regulations and say, are we doing things to these regulations? And if we are, then everything's good. But more times than not, I show up and we're not. We're trying to spin around those regulations for our own convenience. And typically when I show up, that's where I kind of start. Now there ain't no regulations for coaching per se, but um there is a culture that you have to then kind of gut out the program, gut out the room, out the locker room to get people to a place that you want them to be. But it takes time, and it can't happen overnight. It can't happen because of a press conference. Um, you got to understand where it's at in the building, in the room, and the people involved. And then once you figure that out, everything else ends up kind of fall into place. But it's a process.
Right.
Simple as that.
So listen, if y'all want to call in, man, 786-405-9499. Look at your mom and Taylor. Remember your mom and Taylor was committed to us and he ended up going to Cincinnati? He's had a better time at Cincinnati than he would have had if he came here. Shout out to Shaman. Mateo. Listen, dog, I don't know what y'all doing this year. I see you, bro. He was a tight end. He was committed to us, a linebacker tight end. He ended up going to Cincinnati. Uh, it's got rough down here, Mateo. Don't got rough down here. So if y'all want to call in, man, 786-405-9499. Y'all call in. I'll show you how to get in on the show. 786-405-9499. Y'all can call in and I'll show you how to get in on the show. Rich. I see a couple of comments. I see Bill Walt. Bill Walt typing 1,000 words a minute.
Right.
Boy, going off in the comment section. So listen, we got Alabama. Go ahead, run it.
I was just gonna mention. I saw one comment where somebody said, "Do we win another game this year?" I'll say, yeah, we do. I would say we beat Virginia. We beat Georgia Tech. The other games we got on our schedule, I can't comment on.
You say you can't comment on it?
Nah.
Yeah, you can, man. It's like this. Every game, like I keep saying, every game, every week is gonna be different. Today was inexcusable and inexplicable, but it's not a whole lot of this didn't happen, that didn't happen, this guy, that guy. The point blank period part of this whole thing was anybody that had anything to do with them 8 turnovers. That's the only spot you need to look at. So that ain't got nothing to do with coaching. They ain't got nothing to do with TVD. It's a lot of things that don't have anything to do with. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as today goes, this season to put it all in the bottle and decide what flavor it is, you just can't do it. Cause like for people to go out and be like, man, we trash, we this, and no, we not. We do a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of stupid errors, things like that. We don't have a team full of trash players. Do we have guys that's not reaching their potential, not maximizing the opportunity? We surely do. Um, but we're not trash. We are we playing like trash? You can kind of say that. But a lot of it is just mental errors. Like turnovers are mental errors. Throwing the ball in the wrong place. Once you see that Duke is attacking the ball, you still not holding it with two arms, or you trying to go for extra yardage when you know they're coming to strip the ball. Little things like that. Because you take away like that, this game was about to be an ass whooping. We're up 7-zip, getting ready to score. Melo drops a pass. We convert the fourth down. Then we get a ball to Jalen and he fumbles. Things go the other way. Same thing with coming out after halftime. We come out 2 quick points like it ain't nothing. I mean 2 quick scores like it ain't nothing. And then we just piss on our own leg again. So it's not so much about these other teams, how good they are, how good they aren't. It's about which one of our teams is gonna show up. So for people to be like to feel like, man, are we not gonna win the game or like, bro, don't do that. Go take this week by week because that's the type of team that we have. They show up week by week. Portions of it show up week by week. We just don't know which portions are going to show up. Like Mehdi was saying, it's the whole boat reference that's sinking. You know, you plug one hole, another two pop up, and it's like that. We had the penalty game, fix the penalties. Then we getting turnovers. We had the running game, then it stopped. Then the passing game started working, the running game stopped. It's just a matter of being able to put it all together. But every week is going to be a different story. So just try not to even look down the field. Just take it week by week. We got to see who shows up.
True. So darn long. Shout out to so darn long with the $2, man. I think I missed this. This thing was going up fast. Um, what's the gap between our blue chips and the rest? What is the gap between our blue chips and the rest? What is he asking? Y'all think you understand what he's saying?
Everybody in Power Fives get blue chips, but it seems like our blue chips always underperform.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that is a major issue. I would say that this is a little bit tougher than we thought it was going to be in terms of players learning both the defense and the offense, and we are seeing the results of that. And it's just one of those things where you can be able to play freely because you know what was going on. And I mentioned this. Well, I saw this after the game. They interviewed the Duke coach, and he said, "Man, did you think that you guys are going to come out here and win like this, basically stomp on Miami?" And he said basically our team is together. He was like, our team has a brotherhood, and the thing that makes us keep playing the way that we play is that brotherhood. We got that down pat. We play for each other. And when you see all these guys who are 4-star guys, we got some 5 stars on the team and so on and so forth. You have to say, all right, you were individually the man in your high schools, but are you really playing for each other? Are you playing for each other now? Because this is a different game, and unless you develop that chemistry that goes from the quarterbacks throwing to the receivers to the defense, being able to communicate with one another. So that way, even if you out of place, even if you don't know to play, you still got to make a play. You can't be out of the play, but you see where the ball is going and then still not make a play. You should be athletic enough that even if you are in the wrong coverage, you see what's going on at the line of scrimmage and you make a play. And that's because you're a blue chip guy. If you're a 4-star, Andrew Ivins 247, they mentioned 4 stars are projected to be guys who will at least play in the NFL or get an opportunity to. If that's your level of talent, then you should be able to read and diagnose when a play is going a certain way. So that way you get all 11 hats to the ball, as they used to say back in the day. whenever that wherever that quarterback is throwing or running to. So that's my thing in terms of other Power Five blue chip guys versus our blue chip guys.
Yeah, E1K kind of pointed out something I pointed out in the past. Not gonna beat that dead horse, but yeah, I think some of these guys have been asked to do certain things that at the college level that maybe they weren't. Uh, it wasn't necessary for them to do at the high school level, and so for me, that's why I don't. I'm just over the star thing. I'm exhausted with it. I'm really kind of tired of hearing about it because time and time again, it seems as if, yeah, from a time like we all know, we all talk about all the time. It's essentially what you know, or not essentially, allegedly what got Manny fired. Streeters question about it. Hey, we out recruit everybody else. Why is it that we can't win nothing? And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like I think you point out the most important part, which is just saying that. Well, their coach pointed out like that dude walked into, and here's how I knew. You want to know the first time I actually thought about this and thought that it was at the ACC media day. And I usually don't watch any of that crap. I don't care. Like if it's not about the U, I don't care. I turn it off. But I watched the Duke linebacker that was there, his interview. And I was like, man, this dude, I don't know, he sounds like different for a guy who's under a first year head coach. Like he sounds like someone who hasn't figured out. And he talked about the depth and how much people they have. And I was like, man, I gotta be on the lookout for these guys. And as we edge closer and closer to the season, I just started seeing that this team had something, and then we saw about the way that we went about, getting rid of the team and basically essentially shipping all our guys to North Carolina. I said, man, we in for something when these people come down here.
You said it. You said it all week long. But we wasn't in for anything. We wasn't in for anything. They came here to lay down, dog. They came here to lay down, man.
And I, like I said, that's when I first saw it in the ACC media day when I heard they linebacker. I can't not remember his name. I don't care, to be honest, but it was one of those few times where I was probably looking for Mario or Jafari or Will or TV or Tyler to come up there and talk, and I just happened to stumble across his, and I was listening to this dude, and I was like, man, this dude sound like, I don't know. And then, like I said, you fire half the staff. Well, basically, don't tell them they fired. You basically got your head coach out there recruiting, and the rest of the staff out there recruiting, and tell them, hey, guess what? Your replacement's here. Figure out what you about to do next. Yeah, like I said, there's definitely gonna be some. I don't know if you noticed this. Street, did you notice this? Every time after they score for some reason, they players run from their sideline onto our logo, and they would like stretch on our logo, or
really?
I don't know if they, yeah, or so like spitting on it. I don't know if they were spitting on, but they were just out there like standing on it, like I don't know, it was weird, and I just kept noticing when they went up 17. Yeah, when they went 17, I was like, why do they keep doing that?
When you take on
And then it wasn't and what a lot of these teams have now learned.
What's in your one?
They used to the whole flipping the U down. They used to do it in the game, and every time they did it, since that quarterback from North Carolina did it, we come back and win the game. So now they started doing it. They started waiting until after the game. So when the game's basically for sure out of reach, now they do it. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not an alumni. I've never attended University of Miami. I was an academic prospect for a little bit, but outside of that, like I've never been to University of Miami from an attendance perspective. But like, do you not have pride in your university? Like somebody said in the group, I thought it was funny, but it's like, how can you allow somebody to do that and not try to throw them into a bench? Like how like where's the heart at? Like where's the fight? That's the part that kills me because, like I said, every week is something different. It's a team that I see that on paper. That's why I don't care about the star thing. I really don't. I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't care if Francis Malgo is a 5-star. I care that Francis Malgo step on this campus and want to be a cane with a heart. because that star, all that shit is fodder at this point. Like it doesn't matter.
They're actually paying attention to that when they recruit.
It's getting old. I'm tired of hearing
kids.
about
They
it.
recruit. They're trying to recruit kids with the right mentality. Yeah.
Kobe
They're
Young
trying
got
to
the right
recruit kids with the right
mentality.
mentality.
Kobe Young showed him said, "Fuck y'all, I'm taking your job." Kobe Young, 6 catches today. Jacoby George, 5 catches today. What's the difference? About 99 yards. That's the difference in a touchdown. Jacoby should have been chomping at the bit to get back in the game. He should be like, y'all let this dude, this JUCO kid show up and take my spot against the team that I showed out against last year? Oh, hell no. He didn't do anything about it. Jacoby Young caught a touchdown, caught a pass, broke a tackle, ran to the end zone and told him, yeah, I did it. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Except be mad. From Pennsylvania. Why does that keep happening? But Jacoby Young is a fill in the blank. How many stars? I don't care. I'm tired of hearing about it. I really don't care.
Hit the like button for us, man. 786-459-499. If you want to call in, we got one caller in here. I'm gonna bring him in a second. It's also that if you want to get on with IOD Squad, just text IOD, man. We in here talking about the Canes. They went down today, a lot to a little bit in a weird game. I think 8 turnovers. Y'all say right?
Yep.
That has to be a. DJ Ivy led us in tackles. Akeem Mesidor.
Oh God.
DJ Ivy led us in tackles, dog. DJ Ivy led us in tackles. James Williams goes down. That may be serious. He was in the boot. We talked about in the football building private group me. If you want to be a member, just hit join at the bottom. But Chase Smith is probably gone. We've been talking about that all week long in the private group me. Royal gone. Chase Smith most likely out for the season. Rashad Smith was on the back of a milk carton today. No clue where he was. Just a lot going on. A lot going on with the team. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with every team, though. Like I said, I bumped into Greg Moss the other day from Florida State, and we talked for about 45 minutes. There's a lot going on up there, too. So every team has its trials and tribulations. I mean, but first year, trying to change the culture, change things, give this team a Power 5, give the kids a Power 5 experience is how it was said to be. And I'm trying to figure out what type of experience have they been getting for the last 30 years at the University of Miami. And Miami goes out there, dog, and looks really bad today. So listen, I'm going to bring Ware in here. Ware, man, what's going on, baby?
What's up, man? How y'all doing this evening?
All right, bro, man. You got something you want to ask or a question you want to ask?
Good.
Not really a question. Just kind of want y'all opinion on something. Hold on. Let me pause this film. I hear a lot of people talking about the coaches is the problem, the players is the problem, but I want y'all perspective on this. If we say the coaches are the problem, but these kids have been playing football for some of them since 6, 7 years old, tackling isn't something that is a fundamental issue. I think we can agree on it. You've done it enough times to know how it should and shouldn't be done. Whether you're, a 5-star kid who was able to just throw your shoulder into somebody, or a 2-star kid who was undersized who knew how to wrap up. I mean, it all comes down to fundamentals. You know how to do it. So if they know how to do it, then you have to say it's a matter of effort. If it's a matter of effort, then I have to refer back to the coaches. How many times does somebody have to show you that they are not going to give you the effort to do it correctly before you sit them down? I mean, we can all agree James Williams is a phenomenal player. But if you don't play like that every time, it's no good. It's all fluff. Chase Williams, too. Great kid. But if you're going to go out there and hit somebody, hold them for a second, and then can't get them to the ground and let go, and they scored off 37 more yards, you might as well have just escorted him there. So at what point or how do y'all see that?
You're asking the question, or you're saying that what should you got it, Rich?
Yeah,
is it a question you asking, or you just giving your take on something? Want to see what we feel about it?
just kind of giving my take and kind of seeing, am I just losing my mind, or is it, I guess my question is, at what point does a coach decide, look, I'm sitting you not because you can't play, because you won't put the effort into playing the right way every time?
So I just wanted to say, so you are absolutely right about that, and it's two things that I would say, if I was in the coach's shoes. The first thing is, from the player's perspective, you see players who used to be able to half-ass it at a different level, let's say at the high
Exactly.
school level, and now they get to big boy league, and they got to realize that I don't care who you playing. I don't care if this guy across from you was a 2-star. He not laying down for you. He not gonna lay down for you at all. Now that's the first thing. The second thing is, when you are when you are you talking about the pride of your university, right? You're talking about, the numbers that you wear, the name on the back of your jersey. That really got to mean something more than your aspirations to go to the NFL, more than how much NIL money you're gonna get and all the other stuff that come with college football. Your name on the back of your jersey and the name on your front of your jersey gotta matter. And when you let somebody just box you up and you don't even, try to put a combination together yourself, that goes back to pride. Those are the two things. It goes back to how much pride you got, and it also goes back to, you thought that what you did before was going to help you at this level. And you got to understand too, man, when you go to the NFL, it's going to be the same shit. It's going to be a different level. And the way that you tackled, Mario said it in the press conference today. He said these guys got to learn, like, when you tackle a guy, you got to hold on to that guy with everything you got. He said it during the press conference. He said, when you tackle somebody, you can't just tackle them and be like, okay, I did my job. No, you got to hold on to them with everything you got. And I think the players, when they when they watch film tomorrow or Monday, they're gonna see it on film. Like, you can't just. It don't matter how many stars this guy could have had no stars, but he ain't gonna roll over for you. This is a different league.
786-405-9499. That's if you want to call in, just give us a call. And if you want to get down with IOD, tackling is fundamental. It's all fundamental. Blocking, holding the ball, catching the ball. It's all fundamentals. And fundamentals is repetition, doing things over and over again. And also could be mental too. Are you focused? What's going on? Mario inherited what was going on at the University of Miami for the last 20 years. By God, whatever he inherited is his. Whatever he adopted is his now. And he has to change it. He has to change it. And I think that's what we're seeing. I think what we're seeing is change. Bet that up, big dog. Tell him again, man. Hit the like button for. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're seeing. I think we're seeing change, and I see a lot of people comparing it to Duke. But Duke is a first-year program, and Duke came in here and just beat us. What does that mean? Like what does it mean? Like, what does that mean? Well, there's no expectations of Duke. The only way you guys feel the way y'all feel is because of the expectations you have for the University of Miami. There's no expectations of Duke. Duke doesn't even have expectations of Duke football. But they came in here and they beat us. That's what I'm just saying. But what is it? But what does it mean in the scheme of things? Yes, they did. Well, they're ahead of us. And wow, we pay our coach more money. Listen, man. Listen. It's not a 40-yard dash. It's a literally a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It's not a 40-yard dash. It's literally a marathon. I have zero excuses for the way University of Miami played today. That's not even my fucking job to make excuses for them. To be honest with you, it's not. I only tell you what I see and I tell you what I believe. I think they set kind of like a record. I think for the FBS turnovers, I think they had the most in any FBS team this year, anything like that. Maybe the most in University of Miami history. And yeah, you could turn the ball over 8 times versus Chaminade and they'll kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's just being real. That's just being real. You gonna say something, Rich?
No, I was just gonna. You're absolutely right. You turn the ball over 8 times. It doesn't matter who you play. They about to steamroll you. You're giving them too many opportunities to score. The one thing I will say too, I want to point this out as well to everybody. Listen, to everybody. Go look at Syracuse right now. Tell me how many times over the past 8 years Syracuse has missed a bowl game. But the one thing that they did is they've always had continuity at the head coaching position. Dino Babers, shout out to him because we talk about this too. We talk about everything over here from Bitcoin to ball, right? We know how black coaches, how short their tenure is at the collegiate and NFL level. And Dino Babers took the worst job you could possibly take in the ACC, and now look at his team. They almost had a huge upset today, and if they would have had that upset, I believe that they probably would have won ACC. They would have been the ACC championship champions of the year, right? And it's just one of those things that they were just playing a great Clemson team who's already smelled success. They know what it looks like. They turned the ball over 5 times and was still able to dig themselves out of that hole and win because they've been there before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So for
Yeah.
us,
Mm-hmm.
trying to walk up that mountain, climb up that mountain, if you will, we have to take that Syracuse approach where we let our coaches get some type of tenure, get their players in here, and ride it out with them so that they can establish some type of program. Because right now we're a team, but we're not a program. We're not an institution, and we got to do that. So
Rich,
it's a
you
long
All
road
right.
ahead.
1 second. So where
Yeah.
man? Did we answer what you were trying to say? Where?
Most of it. I guess the only part I still got somewhat of a question about is at what point do we have to hold the coaches accountable when you're not getting that effort? Sit somebody. Ain't nothing worse than a football player who plays than sit and having to watch. So at what point do we say, look, you got to hold him accountable for continuously showing you little to no effort when it comes to tackling, catching, and sit them? Because we do it with receivers, but we don't do it on the defense. And I don't know if it's a thing where we feel like the drop off is just too great behind to do it.
Right.
But it's no different if you put him out there if you're not going to do it.
Right.
Same drop off.
So give me an example of somebody who need to sit. Here we go. Let's go. Let's ride.
I mean, I'll say it. I feel like James and Chase are a bit of a liability in tackling. As much
James
as Chase,
and who? James and who?
Chase Smith.
Chase Smith.
Yeah.
Chase Smith don't be on the field.
Number 4?
Oh, Keontra Smith.
My bad. Hey, my bad.
You got Kim. We're gonna bring Kim in here in a second.
I feel like the two of them are around the ball so much,
right?
But it's almost like in practice they just play thud. They get there, they give them a good thud, and then that's it. And it's like almost you almost wasting your calories getting over there to do nothing with it. It's like, oh, I got there. Yeah, but if you didn't make the play, you could have just sat in the back and watched.
Right. So Trucker, let me get this straight. So you saying Keontra just started playing when Snead got hurt, really? You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like started
Correct.
playing. And you're saying James Williams, because he does, he misses he doesn't hit hard enough or wrap up, and people break the tackles a lot. You're saying you want to see him sit down for a quarter? How long? What are we talking?
I can't put a time frame on how long, but it has to be a clear message of if you're not gonna come here and put the effort in and finish the play, you're of no use. Whether you the kid that walked on or you the kid that we came to your mom house and say, look, we need him. Because there's no difference.
I get what you're saying. You like second or third in tackles, leading us in tackles. You know that, right?
No. And again, that's why I laughed when I said it, because when you get there, you got to kind of hold your breath when he's making a tackle. Is he going to finish it? Is he just going to thud? And the problem is, I don't care what defense you're on. If your safeties and corners are leading your team in tackles, you got a problem.
I think it seems as if they're not playing with awareness, they're not playing with enough awareness yet, which makes me believe that they all aren't comfortable with where they're supposed to be or what they're supposed to be doing. They always seem to be a step behind on tackles. I don't know if James is strong enough. I don't know what the problem is. But he needs to get stronger. When he hits some fucking body, they need to stay tackled, like Denzel Perryman. When he hit your ass, you stay tackled. When he put a tackle on you, motherfucker, you was it where you were dead where you were standing. You know what I'm saying? Right, and that's how James needs to get stronger, and he needs to be able to take people down like that. But he's not. James isn't perfect. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. No.
The things that he does well, he doesn't get credit for because it's like, he should be doing that. But today he tackled like he played for goddamn, I don't know, Iowa State or somebody. So appreciate your trucker, man. But I understand what you're saying. Right, people do need to, like Melo missed that pass. He got missing for a minute. Right, he got missing for a minute. So I get what you're saying. Appreciate you, bro. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We got Kim in the house all the way from Cali. Kim, what's going on, bro?
Ain't no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine. Sad, dog. Sad
dog.
Anyway, ain't no sunshine when it's gone. Man, I'm going to tell you this right now, fellas. I've been listening to you guys. Fine job as always, Streeter. Here's the thing. I know what this process has been like. I said it on the space a couple days ago. Here's the two things that were really maddening in today's game. There were, and this is a lot of this is on the coaches. It's not just the players. I've been very critical of the players, but guys, we knew Riley Leonard. If you had ever seen Duke, he's a very good athlete. I don't mean just very good athlete for being a white quarterback. He's a good athlete. And there were at least 3 plays where I said, guys, quarterback draw, quarterback counter, quarterback delay, quarterback sweep. In other words, it's going to be some sort of quarterback keeper. Our players and coaches played that like they had no idea that a quarterback draw or some sort of quarterback run was going to be coming. And I just said the lack of football IQ that we have as a program is alarming. Okay. The other thing that was very maddening is offensively that I thought we were playing well, playing hard. We're up 7-0, and our inability to just move the ball for a yard by running the ball up the middle or finding a way to move the chains, it cost us the game early. Because even when it was 7-0, at the end of the first quarter, I said, man, we should be up 17-0. And that's where the game started to be lost. So here's my view, Streeter and everyone else. Let's party like it's 1997. Go with the youth. Go with the young guys. Go with the freshmen. I already know what certain guys have. Congratulations to them. You were good enough to play Division I football. You will get your degree from a fine educational institution. I hope you find your way in real life. Let's go with the young guys and let's play for the future. Tell me I'm nuts.
What when you say the young guys, right? Give me some names.
Wesley Basaint, Jalil Skinner. No, that's what I mean. They'll play them more. Colby Young, who's already become our number 1. Hang in with Anez Cooper. Let's get him in there. Okay? Whoever is a young guy, red shirt, sophomore or below, Let's see what they have. Jake Garcia, it looks like he's going to have to be our starting quarterback for better or worse. Let's see what we have there, okay? Because he fell apart late. But, again, let's see what happens when he has a full week of practice. I would say literally, because if you go back to 1997, I remember that year very well. I remember Santana Moss wearing this oversized jersey with number 48. He looked like a little kid out there. I said, this guy's not going to be any good. Obviously, I was wrong. Reggie Wayne played a lot. Dan Morgan played a lot. Nate Webster played a lot. Ed Reed actually played a little bit that year. People forget. Marty Bibla, I think, played a little bit. He ended up being a really good guard. Damian Lewis got a lot more snaps than he should have. Leonard Myers actually played a lot. Marquise Fitzgerald played a lot. It didn't work out then, but we were playing towards the future because we had to. My view is right now, you know what? We know what we have. It's okay. Mario's going to be here for at least 8-9 years based on that salary. Let's build towards the future. Let's see what we have moving forward. Am I nuts?
No, I mean, you're not nuts. I think the only problem with that is that it's like an infirmary down there, bro. Like they are playing deep in the depth chart right now. You're saying guys like the wide receiver from Tennessee, like get him on the field. Let's see what he got. I don't know if he played a couple snaps today.
I think he was out today. Isaiah Horton.
No, he wasn't. He was on kick return.
Oh, that's right. He changed his number.
Yeah, he's like 82 now.
Anybody seen Brashard walking around city somewhere? Somebody like anybody saw Brashard? No. Okay, we'll keep looking for Brashard.
It was very evident that his slot receiver.
But no, you're not crazy. But I think they're already deep into the depth chart. To be honest with you, but I get what you're saying. Inez Cooper, we would like to see more of him. I'm not sure what happened. He was playing earlier, wasn't he?
Played a lot last week, in fact. Played a little bit last week. But look, we have to be patient about this. But there are certain guys that, like, look, James Williams is going to have a come-to-Jesus moment with our staff. When you take on the road, what position do you want to play, and what are you best at? But what is best for the program? His tackling at times is maddening. It really is. To a point where he's become a little bit of a liability. And so it is what it is. He's a talented player. I'm not saying he hasn't made contributions, but we are not good at the fundamentals. And also, Mario has a very, very interesting question that I think he's even thinking about in the back of his mind. His staff. I've been told that he's actually thinking about, is this the staff for the long term? Do I have the right coordinators? I just look at other offenses and I'm like, geez, they're out in space. They're having fun. They're getting guys open. They're scoring a lot of points. Guys, we can't even score 28 points. That is sad. And then defensively, we can't get off the field. We were up 21-17, and they go on an 18-play drive where they converted 3 or 4 third and fourth downs that are long situations. It's frustrating. But again, we're still only halfway through the year. So we got to figure this out here, at least for this year, and try to salvage a decent season.
I got a question. I'm going to say TD Jake. Jake comes in, right? Jake looked like his communication or he just wasn't in sync with the receivers. But he comes in and he finds 2 touchdowns, right? 2 long touchdowns, right? I don't know if Gad has been saving the touchdown calls for Jake. And sabotage, treason. But will somebody explain to me, how does Jake find guys? Either hit them while they're running in open field, you know what I'm saying, and they can make it to the end zone. Or what's the difference between what Jake is doing and what TBD does?
I thought I talked about this before, but I'll do it again. I see a lot of the Jake people in here getting ready. Oh, I already saw them in here. Jake ain't it. Jake this, Jake that. Once again, This is the second time this season Jake has been thrusted into starter reps. Yeah. And has been dependent on to be the hero. What he did, because people's memories are short, especially when they all in the comments, this way talking about fire Gaddis. he gave us the lead. The defense then proceeded to not be athletes, piss down their leg, and succumb that lead for him to once again have to try to play hero. The reason why is because Jake actually, and you know what's crazy, and I'll give him credit for this. I said it when he came in against Middle Tennessee State. I said the offense changed. I said that's a different offense. And for those first 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, that's the offense we were running again, right? Quick read, get the ball downfield. It seemed as if, as the game went on, something happened. As the defense started allowing all these touchdowns to happen on Duke's side, it's almost like you had to watch the offense revert back to what Tyler was doing, because he then started sitting in the pocket and thinking too much. The O-line started breaking down. Hence, you see the fumbles. Hence, you see the miscommunication, and everything that we had just established seemingly went out the window.
Right.
They were like, we're not gonna let this guy start beating us. So it's like, just send more pressure in his face, send backside corner blitzes, whatever to get this dude rattled. And then, not to mention, the first pick he threw, the one on the sideline, I watched Frank Latson run a post corner and then just stop. And he was running like the play was over. And then I saw the safety. I think it was a safety, either a safety or the corner. I don't know if they're in deep thirds or not. Just literally just run, hit the sideline, toe tap, get the pick. I watched it happen live in person. And then you start hearing that was before the half. I think was that before the half?
I think so. I know the play you was talking about. Yep.
Yeah, they were trying to drive to get points on the board. And I watched him just literally give up on the post corner, stop, and then the cornerback or safety, I can't remember which one it was, just undercut it, toe taps, gets out of bounds, they get the ball back, they go for the kneel. Any opportunity we had to make it a 7-point game, maybe a 3-point game, out the window.
Well,
I don't know about that, bro. Wasn't that just a miscommunication? Because he was past the ball, and where Jake threw it, he threw it to a place where I guess he thought he would be. But Latson is past the ball. That seems like communication more than him giving up on the play. Latson was past the ball when he threw the ball.
You're breaking up, but yeah, Kyle, I hear you, and I understand it. It was quite a few miscommunications where it just seemed as if the playbook wasn't comforting Jake as it had in the beginning of the third quarter.
Well, look, I want to see Jake with full-time first-team reps all throughout practice, game plan to what he did. I personally think what I didn't understand was end of the first half, we get a stop. We had about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Decent field position. We ran the ball 3 times in a 2-minute drill. We shaved off about a minute and a half in a 2-minute drill with 3 runs that got 10 yards. That was awful game management. And then it's like, all right, Jake, go make a miracle. That to me is terrible coaching. That's the one concern I have with Mario is his offensive approach / game management. I personally think with Jake, we need to go full-blown spread, up-tempo, and just let him wing it because we have no running game. We're down 3 touchdowns, and Gaddis is calling runs. Why? I just don't get it, but, I'd like to work in Jakari a little bit more. Short yardage, I like that package. But now we got to let him throw the ball a little bit off of that package because people are sitting on that run. I get the sense there's going to be a real purge. If you Streeter, were you there at the press conference when Mario talked a little bit? He basically said it without saying it. I'm going to get rid of a lot of these guys. I have no heart.
No, I didn't go. We were shooting in my man's suite. I didn't want to give Mario access to me. I didn't go to the press conference.
Mario flat out said, if you ain't playing hard, get the hell out of here. And the other thing is we're going through more injuries than I can ever recall. I get the sense some of these guys are not built for this. They're not used to this. That's why we're so banged up.
Exactly. Listen, man, 786-405-9499, 786-405-9499.
Yeah. 6:15.
Central Arkansas, 6'11", six forward from the southeast, Oklahoma State. From New Mexico, 7'2", six guard from Miami, Ohio, Ron Harper. From North Carolina, head guard, 6'6", Michael Jordan.
Woo, baby! We're in the building, baby! I love my Canes. It ain't over. It ain't over. You got to believe in Mario, I trust. Y'all understand me? It was a dark and gloomy night.
Harris will do that for you.
I'm trying
The
to
light
tell you.
skin wonder, man. Shout
Alexa,
out to that boy.
hold up. Alexa, turn on all lights.
Okay.
Let's get it.
What's good, bro?
What's up, fellas?
Kim just said something. I thought the whole intro just threw me off. I wanted to ask you when you got in here. Gaddis running the ball those 3 times right before the half, right? I think did we get a touchdown or what happened? We didn't even get a field goal. But him running the ball, right? Okay, we got 2 minutes left. He runs the ball 3 times. They get a first down. Then he goes to the air, right? From a coaching standpoint, could you make sense out of what he was doing there?
Can I be very honest? I would be lying if I tell y'all I even remember that, because I was I'm in such distraught. Like, I don't even remember that part. Cause hell, I went to go fix a cup of cane juice. I came back. We had the ball. I came back. I looked. The score was different, and we had the ball again. I'm like, I didn't even see the pick six. I still have not seen the pick six, dog, y'all. I went to go get a cup.
What pick six?
Thank you. When Jake threw the pick six. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, at the end of the game. At the end of the game. I was a blur by then. I didn't know
what I'm saying is,
I wasn't paying attention.
I'm telling you how confused I was. I went to go fix some cane juice. We had the ball. I said, "Oh, let me go right quick." I came back. We had the ball again, but the score was different. And I'm like, "What happened?" I didn't even know that was a pick six. Dog, it happened that fast. Like, but anyway.
So basically, I'm gonna try to explain it to you. We get the ball right before the half. 2 minutes left, right?
Okay.
And it's 2 minutes left. So Jake just got in. I know. So Jake probably a little rusty. And we run the ball 3 times, get a first down. Now we got 50 seconds left, and we maybe at their 40. Then we start passing the ball. Why would you run the ball? Yeah, 1 timeout.
I can't answer for that, man. Dog. I don't know what is. Again, I know, but I would not have done that. It's 2-minute drill. You practice 2-minute drill. You're trying to score.
Right.
You're not playing because you have the lead. You're playing to get the lead, or at least get in a scoring position, at least to kick a field goal. He played 2-minute, like 4-minute, and then realized, oh damn, we did get a first. Maybe he thought we can't move the ball. This is all hypothetical.
Well, you can't think for him. If you were the head coach, right?
Oh no, we're going for the gusto. I'm trying to score. I'm trying to get first downs, move the ball, get in position, and score.
Does it have anything to do with Jake just checking in?
At that point, who cares? You know TVD ain't coming back. He's gone.
I think it was Jake's first possession, right? TVD, right? Get hurt. They scored a touchdown, and now Jake gets the ball back, right? And it's 2 minutes left in the half, wasn't it?
In the words of the parliament, baby, you can't jump in the water and not get wet. Bro, you want to play quarterback at Power 5? Let's go. Okay. It's just like Friday Night Lights. He was over there reading comic books. Dude got hurt, and all of a sudden, you got to get in and make a play. It's what it is, dog.
Did we get any points out of that possession? Anybody?
Nope. Nope.
How did it
Nope.
end?
It ended with us 45-21. That's how it ended.
You talking about
Yeah.
that 2-minute drive with Jake?
The 2-minute drive. How did it end?
They kneel the ball.
He threw a pick.
He threw a
Then
he
we
threw a
we
pick.
threw a
That was
pick,
the
right?
interception on the
Yeah.
corner route that Latz
Yeah.
and Garcia were not on the same page.
Right.
And that's how
Right.
it ended. We literally had the ball at 2:20 to go on a first down. By the time we got the first down, there was 50 seconds to go. And I'm like, hey, Mario, that's not the time to run out the clock when we're down 17-7.
Right. Cal, you have
That's
any
just
clue
my
what they were
opinion.
trying to accomplish? You have any clue what they were trying to accomplish, Cal?
No. I ain't gonna even elaborate. No.
Hey, listen, man.
I'm looking
We-
at
we
it now.
saw-
Yeah, it's
You
just
look,
foolishness.
yeah. What it is?
Foolishness, bro.
Foolishness.
We had the 50. We're at our 45 with
Right.
a minute 12 on the clock, and we ran inside zone on third and short. So you're trying to get the first. Okay, I don't know what happened prior to third and short.
No,
And
but Coach,
got
we
you.
had the ball first down with about 2:20 to go. It was first down with 2:20. That makes it even worse.
No, you're right.
I mean, we're down by 10. That's the thing. I'm like, and we ran the ball once. I get kind of setting up the down and distance and making sure that Duke never gets the ball back because you want them to kind of shave the clock or not have as much time. So I understand one run. But when they ran it twice, I was like, oh my God, are we running the clock out on ourselves?
See, I see Scott Breezy say Cote's keeping it real. He's stupid, you know. See, this is how my mind works and things, right? This is how my mind works. We only think other people are stupid, right? But when it's us, we always have logic for the things we did. I mean, have anybody ever did anything in life where they was like, oh, I'm finna go do some stupid shit? You know what I'm saying? And you just do something stupid. It's always logic to what you're going to do, right? There's always logic to what you're going to do in life. So I'm the type of person that I never assume that the other person's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing idiot stuff with his $500,000 job or his $200,000 job. I try to make some sense out of the things that they do. What's the logic behind it? You know what I'm saying? Trying to get to the bottom of.
And Street, I'm just gonna say this to throw it out there. Who knows? Maybe Mario say, "Hey man, let's just get out the half. Let's go recoup. Let's go recuperate." Who knows? Gaddis could be. I want to hit the gas, and Mario comes in, veto that stuff, and says, "Hey, see, because we put a lot on the coordinators, but remember, there's what they're called a head coach, and then you have assistant coaches. So what I'm saying is,
and I always into the chat.
No,
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I've always said that we can say what we assume because the coordinator calls the plays. So when he calls these plays, it's on him. The same way we were talking about the loss goes on to the head coach. But HC may have said, I don't know this to be a fact. I'm just giving a scenario. You don't normally do that with 2 minutes. You may do that with 25 seconds. So you don't throw a crazy pick and they take it for an easy 6 points. But with 2 minutes, you got to try to move the ball. But he might have just said, hey, man, it's looking shaky right now. New dude in there. Hey, man, run this thing out. Get a couple first. Let's get out of it. Oh, shoot, we got a first. Let's try it now. You never know. I don't know. I'm just posing that as
now we talking. Now we talking. Man,
Right.
you
Right, that's good.
Same exact thing. Because the part that everybody's forgetting is that the momentum that we had, being up 7-zip, we fumbled it away. That's not a punchline. That's real facts.
Oh, hey, URL TV, baby.
to the effect of giving them a 17-7 lead, right? Quarterback just got knocked out the game. We don't know what's going on with him. Now we got to drive. All of a sudden, the fan of you saying, "Oh, go for this, go for that." But in reality, we don't know. We don't know what the perspective is. You got a new quarterback in there that you probably haven't been practicing or giving first team reps all week, and now you got a guy in the box, in the booth, and a head coach communicating, "Hey, what we doing here? What are you going for?" And no one is taking that into consideration. We gave them 2 short fields to score, 3 short fields, 2 or 3. Yeah, 2. 2 short fields, and then we threw the pick. And maybe that's what they were trying to do, was trying to protect that man until he can get into the halftime, the locker room at halftime, and try to draw something, scheme something up for him. But once again, that perspective is what we always seem to throw out, because that emotion comes first.
You gotta blame and the thing is, you got to blame somebody, right? And that was the only turnover that wasn't inside our own 25. And to maybe that point is, look, he still threw the pick, but imagine if he throws that pick when they're on their 20 and they get the ball at the 50 with a minute 50 left in the game, in the half. So again, that's just not an excuse, just scenario, and it is what it is, man.
There's no excuse for the way they played today.
Yeah,
They pissed down their leg. Whatever. What Mr. Dirty say? Pissed down their leg. They wasn't athletes. All that good shit. You feel me? KB, who about to say something? KB?
No, Coach. I had a question for you.
Kim.
Yeah,
okay.
Coach.
Yeah.
What did you think of our inability to recognize that Riley Leonard was going to run the ball at certain points, especially near the goal line? Is that a coaching mistake, or is that players not having enough of a football IQ? Because you knew, and I said this earlier, on certain third downs, they're going to run a draw, a counter, or some sort of quarterback keeper. There has to be an awareness of it from players, but who ultimately is to blame for that? Them or the coaches?
I mean, not knowing all of the calls, I'm based on how they lined up is the call. If you put me in man and they spreading this thing out, if I'm playing man, hence the word man, I got to line up on the man. So if they've put 4 wide receivers and everybody has to spread out, that lightens the box, right? So therefore, that's the call. Now, again, just because what we see on TV doesn't always mean. See, it's so hard. That's why I say it's hard in this game, because you don't know what exactly is being translated in these calls or whatever. But based on the call and based on how they're lining up, it's the call, right? It's not like they got a spy over the top or the box is loaded. You know, they lined up out there on the man and playing man. Hey, coach called that. Let's go play man. And then before you know it, buddy going up the gut, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's one of those. It could be this or it could be that. But if you look at it on the surface, you say, okay, look, all these guys went and lined up on their man, and you could tell by the way they play. They run off. Everybody runs off. He turns, and he runs right up the gut. You know, and there's no interior stunt to force him perimeter wise, to force him sideways to the perimeter guys. He's here and he goes right up the gut. You don't see any inside stunt. So, like for example, there's only one running play in 5 wide, quarterback draw. There's nobody else to get the ball to. So what defenses typically do is you stunt guys inside A and B gaps to force the quarterback outside if he decides to run it. That's kind of what you do. But I mean, hey, man.
I got there today pretty early. We got some good shots. We shot some good video and stuff. Got to see Francis Mauigoa interact with the staff and certain things. Real good relationship with Mario and the staff. Big dude, Kim, like you said, he's huge. We haven't been recruiting dudes look like that, though. He's huge. But I'm what I saw was somebody who seems to be brought in, like he's brought in whatever Mario's selling, he's brought into. And I think that's what it's going to come down to with recruiting. When everybody's saying, "Oh, we're losing, the class will fall apart." We may not get the level of guy that Mario is shooting at 3 years from now, but we will probably have a better recruiting class than we've seen in a while, just because Mario is a relentless recruiter. It's selling kids and parents. You understand? It's selling them on what. It's not about, hey, we're not Alabama, we're not Georgia. Only 5 teams can say that they're Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan. Everybody else have to recruit what they have.
Right.
And it's about selling. And goddamn it, we got. I don't know what's the guy named Lesko used to come on back in the 80s with the question marks on his shirt, be selling all that stuff. I'm Lesko and I'm selling it. He's selling all that stuff, man. We got somebody that's selling and relentless in recruiting. And so when it comes to recruiting, hey, that part we're going to do well. Besides, I mean, how many coaches have been at University of Miami that recruited bad? Kim, who was the bad recruiter at the University of Miami?
Oh, based on rating, you know what's funny, and you pointed this out to Manny Diaz last year. We've actually always been in the upper level of the ACC, if not national. I mean, even Al Golden. I mean, this is the thing with Al Golden. If you look at that team, he left Manny Diaz as the coordinator and Mark Richt as the head coach. It had a lot of NFL guys. That's the
Right.
thing. I mean,
It
it
did.
depends on like, have we recruited at the Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson level? No. But as you pointed out, Streeter, last year, when it comes to the ACC, outside of Clemson and maybe Florida State during the early run with Jameis and Dalvin Cook, we have not matched the actual results of the recruiting rankings. But again, Coach will tell you this. There's a difference between recruiting rankings and actual players. There is a difference.
Oh yeah. We just did that this week with James Williams.
Ah!
What
Yeah.
kids are ranked and what they actually do in college football, we just learned that really fast. I mean, we just did
Different
a whole
things.
thing on James Williams. I got into a conversation with some media guys, and they were just really trying to say it has to be talent, right? And I was like, so listen, so Kim, you're the perfect guy to have in here, right? And anybody else could chime in. Dennis Erickson won 2 national championships, right? Then he went 9. Then he went 9-3. Then he went 10-2, right?
Yes.
And in that moment, what was the state of the program when Dennis Erickson went 9-3 and 10-2?
You know what, Streeter? I really am the perfect guy to talk about this because I am not a big Erickson fan. I think his legacy is built upon Jimmy Johnson leaving the way he did. And I've written about this a lot on various message boards when I was much younger. If you look at his first 4 seasons, he lost 4 games with Jimmy Johnson's players. So from 89 to 92, because Jimmy's last 2-3 recruiting classes were monsters. I mean, he literally, his last 2 recruiting classes had like 35 guys make the NFL. Armstead, Barrow, Gino Torretta, Lamar Thomas, Horace Copeland, all those guys like Leon Searcy. But his last 2 years, he lost 5 games. And the one thing about Erickson that I was told was that he was a little bit of a lazy recruiter. And there were other issues where he was actually banned, Streeter, from local high schools in Miami. They wouldn't even let him on campus.
What was
That's
he
a true
doing?
story. Well, happy hour was at a certain time, and then he would make his rounds.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this, Kim. Yes.
I will leave it at that. I don't want to get too deep into it, but there are certain high schools that would not let Erickson onto their campus. Okay? And Erickson had some of the most highly recruited classes. I remember one class with Jamie German was the number 1 player in the country out of Fort Myers. Everyone thought he was the next Deion Sanders, and it was like 7 wide receivers. But they had way too many guys that were not tough. They only lasted a year or 2 in the program. And for every Ray Lewis or Warren Sapp, there were 15 other guys that never made a contribution. So I would say Erickson, believe it or not, out of all our coaches, along with Coker, because this is what I was told about Larry Coker. He went a lot off of the magazine and the internet rankings more than evaluations. And if you actually look at Coker's last couple of classes, wow, they were bad. So that's the thing. Erickson, to me, was very, very lucky that he inherited a loaded squad, basically a future NFL team from Jimmy Johnson.
Shout out to Ralph Rawls. Can we design more plays for Kobe Young or our one playmaker more touches? He touched that ball. How many times he touched that thing today? He touched that thing,
bro,
man.
Kobe gonna down the goddamn field as much as he get the ball. Shit.
Ralph Rawls, shout out to you for that $5. Ralph, Kobe touched that leather now.
6 catches for 127, I believe.
And that's not including the targets. We're talking about the catches.
Right. I was saying to y'all before the game, Romello Brinson don't always speak. You know what I'm saying? He be in his own head sometimes. He walked up to me today and dapped me up and told me he's just chilling, man. He's gonna be patient. He gonna, you know what I'm saying, chill and let things take place. So they obviously tried to get him involved. He caught the first pass. He missed the second one. You can't, like, they try to get you involved. You can't do that for me to Romello. But like I said earlier in the program, that's not the Romello I know. That's not the Rooster I know, and that's not the Romello I know. You feel me? And I'm eye down that sword. Those guys were confident kids coming out of high school, and Rooster was a confident kid up until I don't know if it's the injury and he's in his head, or I don't know if Zodon got in his face and told him, "You don't like no NFL running back, you little punk." And it got to him. I don't know, but he doesn't look confident. You know what I'm saying? Hayes, you were saying he didn't get it. You think he didn't have his leg, got his sea legs, like he ain't got his legs back up under him. He doesn't look confident. He doesn't look explosive. Rooster, this guy.
Yeah, Rooster. To me, like he got to get into a groove. He's not a give me the ball twice guy. Take me out rotational. Like let me run until I'm tired or until you know what I mean. I get a series. Let me have a series. Don't give me a set of downs. Give me the series. Give me the drive. You know, and let me get in there and get the feeling of it and so forth and so on. But just real quick while y'all were talking, I was listening just to go back to answer Kim's question. It's the play call. I just looked at all of these downs. We one man short. They keep 6 in. We only got 6 in the box, and the quarterback makes 7. There's no stunt. Quarterback take the easy draw right up the gut. I just looked at all 3 of them right now. It's the play call. It's the play call.
Right.
Player. But anyway,
go ahead. Got over Hurricane Great text me, said they need a real wide receiver coach. Anybody else agree with that?
I agree with that.
We also need more speed in that room.
Oh,
I agree.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Anybody else seen Brashard Smith? Has he popped up on Instagram or Twitter or anything? Anybody seen Brashard?
I know he got hurt at the end of last game. I just didn't think he carried on because Martin said
I seen him walk around on campus, Medi. 2 legs, 2 arms. I seen them. I don't even think he's dressed, dog. I didn't even see him out there with Restrepo throwing the ball around.
I'm going to tell you what
that's another thing, too, man. Pre-game Restrepo is out there throwing the ball to the wide receivers before they get dressed, running routes and stuff. But I'm trying to figure out, like, why is it Restrepo? Like, why is not... Like, why the kill quarterbacks aren't out there throwing the ball around with the wide receivers before the game? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But no, bro. Before that game, listen, man. Before that game, Duke came there to lay down, bro. Duke looked unenthused. They looked like the first quarter started and we're just moving the ball up and down, up and down, up and down. They came to lay down, and then Miami was like, nah, we ain't gonna let you lay down. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna make this a game. And then started turning the ball over, pissing down their leg, and it actually turned into a route. And there's really no excuse, but Mario has to get this thing going. But what I was gonna say about Butch is Dennis Erickson. So you're saying at the end, Dennis Erickson tailed off a little bit, right, Kim? On the
oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, here's the thing, and the coaches always say a win is a win. It is, but how you beat teams really matters. I actually believe that blowouts tell you how good of a team is. If you win 10 games by 1 possession, you're winning. But if you win 8 of those 10 games by 14 plus points, you are a great team. That's what Alabama does. That's what every good team does. And if you actually look at a lot of those Miami games, the last couple of years of Erickson, you could tell teams that started to catch up to that spread and the lack of talent, and where the Erickson talent level really tailed off was offensive line. We got bigger and worse, and our quarterback started to get really hit, and Frank Costa had a really slow release, and that became an issue. But you could literally see, because I tell you one thing with the Jimmy Johnson games, we would blow teams out, we bring in backups, and they were all future NFL guys, and there was like no drop-off. With Erickson, I'll never forget, we're playing a game in 1992. We're up 35-7 with about 10 minutes to go against West Virginia, Halloween night. Once we brought in the backups, by the last 2 minutes, the starters had to come back into the game because they had nearly blown the lead. And I knew right then we're in trouble. We have no depth. You could see it.
Right.
It was evident.
We got a few old Hurricanes listening to us, man. Got another text, man. Said, Kim, he said, how you lose matters too. You say how you win does matter. That's true, Kim. You say how you lose matters too.
Oh, there's no doubt. Look, if
Oh.
you go back from like 1986 all the way up to the Sugar Bowl when we got blown out by Alabama, all of our losses were by one possession or literally 1 point or a field goal or a bad call. But when we got blown out by Alabama in the 93 Sugar Bowl, I had literally never seen in my lifetime Miami just get blown off the field like that. I'm just telling you, how you win and how you lose, the point differential says a lot. It really does.
So Dennis Erickson hands this team to Butch Davis, right? 2 years removed from a national championship. 3 losses. We lose our mind in Miami if we lose 3 games, right? It's like, oh my God, we suck. We lost 3 games, right? Bush dealing with little sanctions. What was the sanctions? Did the sanctions have something to do with Luther Campbell?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, there's the Pell Grant scandal with Twan Russell's father. The whole Luke Campbell. There's a lot of things, but they lost 30 scholarships. In Butch's first year, we voluntarily did not go to a bowl game. So that hurt us. I mean, Butch did not understand what he was getting into, and I think that's always why he had an issue with Paul D and the administration.
Right.
But, the thing was, I was at Butch's first game. It did not look the same physically. We had a few good players like Yatil Green, Daniel Ferguson, Kennard Lang, obviously Ray Lewis, Kenny Holmes.
Listen, name somebody, name them. Keep naming.
That was pretty good. But I will give Butch credit. In 1997, as the bottom fell out, he said, you know what? Let's go young. And I named all the guys to you. And Butch had an amazing ability. I've been told this about Butch. He had the greatest ability to look at a kid as an 11th grader and say in 6 years that guy's going to be an NFL player. It wasn't about what is that player now.
He need a job for 247 now. Then
right, he does. There's no doubt.
Listen, Kim. Listen, slow down. You're getting ahead of me. So Butch takes over that team, right? First time head coach, right? That was his first time being the head coach, right? He takes over that team and goes 8-3, 6-1, and we was in the Big East at the time.
Yeah, the Big Least.
No bowl game. Goes 9-3, 96, 6-1, and we win the CarQuest Bowl. We probably was pissing down our leg. We're going to the CarQuest Bowl. I ain't watching that.
Yeah.
Then they go 5-6.
Yeah.
They went 5-6, dog. Come on, Kim. Remind us, what was going on this season when they went 5-6?
Well, that year in 97, what happened? And by the way, D. Harvey, Kennard Lang and Kenny Holmes actually played 2 seasons with Butch Davis. They were absolutely Butch Davis players. They were recruited by Erickson. But in 97, we had a few injuries, like Richard Mercier blew out his knee against Baylor. And we just did not have the talent. There was actually a game, guys, by the middle of the year, we had 55 guys on the sidelines for a college football team. You know how empty that looks when everyone else has about 85 scholarship players and you travel, 65? For a home game, we literally had 55 players, and we were losing to a horrible Pitt team. We lost to West Virginia at home, Syracuse at home, and it was so bad. This is how unfair it was, Streeter.
Mm-hmm.
People actually rented a plane with a banner and said, "From champs to chumps, thanks, Butch," like it was his fault. And so it was really bad. And I remember thinking, we're never going to be back to anything. But I got to give Butch credit because I was always critical of him, but I didn't understand exactly what he was going through. By 1999, when we had young pups like Najee Davenport, Daniel Franks had really matured into a first-round draft choice, guys like that, you said, you know what, this can work. That's why we got to have a little bit of patience. But Butch in 97, you have to understand, all of the good players he inherited had left, and all the good players he had recruited, like Nate Webster, were basically freshmen who weren't really ready to play. So sometimes to have progress, you got to be willing to take your beatings and go backwards.
Right. Anybody else up here remembers 5-6? Now, mind you, we're thinking about the Miami Hurricanes that if they lost 2 games, we were like, man, this is stupid, man. We can't win no national championship. And then they went 5-6.
I remember it just not as I remember it just not as vividly as Kim.
Hold on.
Kim remembers everything vividly.
That's what we do.
Kim, what was the emotion? Because the bar has been sliding for 15 years now, but then we wasn't having that shit.
No, it was a shock because you have to understand from 1985 to 1994, literally every year, except for maybe 1 year, we were in the national title discussion going into the last weekend or the bowl game for a full decade. So by the time 97 came, it was depressing. Guys, we lost to Florida State 47-0 in Tallahassee. And I saw one guy that could play on Florida State. It was either Edgerrin James or Dwayne Starks. Everyone else looked overmatched. And I still remember Scott Covington. We had the ball near our goal line. He literally got impaled at our own goalpost. I think it was Peter Bulwer or Raynard Wilson. Literally pinned Scott Covington on the goalpost. It was a sad, and I said, man, we're never going to beat Florida State because we lost to them 5 straight years. So, I mean, I've been through this. I actually think we have more talent now, believe it or not, than we did back then. But I will say this. I think our players were tougher then. I think, Coach Hayes, you can tell me this. You're a coach. Are our players tough enough?
I think they are, man. I don't think it's hard for me to say it's a talent issue. You can't. I talked about this earlier on my show. These are the same guys we root for in Trash Pile every Friday night. These are the same dudes we see put teams on their back. Now, I have to say this. We are still not getting the elite of South Florida. They're still leaving. They're the Brandon Enos, the Ja'Cory Brooks, these top players. We're not getting the elite of South Florida just yet, right? But these guys are still good enough. You're going to tell me Brashard Smith can't play? You're going to tell me back to saying James Williams can't play? You're going to tell me that Romello Brinson at the West can't play? You're going to tell these cats can play? Is somebody snoring, dog? You're going to tell me?
Rich, that's Rich. Rich don't fell asleep again.
Nope. I'm good.
What I'm saying is people can play. There is some disconnect in the wiring, whatever that is. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that these cats can't play. Now, you say, are they tough enough? Yeah, I believe they're tough enough because they've played in them same games Friday night, right? I would question it more if they were on a stacked team, and I'm just using this for illustration. Let's say a Bishop Gorman, right? Where they're the loaded team in Vegas and they playing, West High School, North High School. I'm just making up high schools. Like the poor little Timmy high schools around because they're the best of the best. And they didn't have to be tough. They just were better. Bro, we watching Centrals. We watching them go play any and everybody and play. If not be competitive, win. And then they come here and all of a sudden they can't do. That's a hard pill for me to swallow, Kim. Like I
won't swallow it.
Our kids can play, huh?
I had somebody ask me today. So you think Brashard Smith is Ray Ray? You think Brashard Smith is as good as Ray Ray? I said, yeah. I said, you saw Brashard coming out of high school. Fucking huddle tape looks out of this world.
Guys, I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Hold on.
All right. What?
Street, it's funny you say that, Street. I had a guy named Jay from Brooklyn call. He called the players trash. And I said, Jay, because y'all know I do a breakdown of all of the recruiting class. I go through all of them and grade them and so forth. If you look at them coming out of high school, not one person called Brashard Smith trash based on his highlight tape. You don't see his highlight tape. Listen, on his highlight tape, not one Miami Hurricane fan nor an opposing fan. They may say, he's not good because he's not going to school. But we talking about trash. He garbage.
Coach, he's from Brooklyn, Coach. He's from Brooklyn. He don't know nothing about no football, man.
But it don't matter, bro. I own people right here off of 62nd and 17th calling our players trash.
Wait a minute.
Am I lying?
Wait a minute.
Am I lying? Tell me.
No. He took that personal jab about people from Brooklyn. I don't. Hey, let's relax.
So my point is, Nobody calls them trash when they're coming in. All it is a recycle effect, rinse and repeat. Now it's the Ray Ray show. You think Bashard was good as Ray Ray? Well, guess what? Back then, do you think that Restrepo was good as Bashard? Now Bashard's turn. You think Ray Ray is good as Bashard? Or Bashard is good as Ray Ray? And then when Ray Ray come up, do you think Ray Ray is as good as John Doe? Do you think John Doe is good as Timmy Doe? It never stops, dog. You can't tell me these players suck. Now, some of them may not pan out, and that's okay. All 25 not going to pan out, but all 25 ain't trash either. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I take a look at trash Bashard coming out of high school. Your mama would have recruited him.
Come on, man.
Take a look at Bashard.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, like people, Street, you always say it. You have guys that are they get emotional because a guy may not be living up to their expectation and understanding something. But you got to understand football. If you look at Bashard, this ain't the Bashard you're showing. That's not the Bashard I'm expecting right now, because Bashard is just learning how to play receiver. People don't take that into account. You know what I'm saying? He tried to do that in high school, but had to go back to being a wildcat quarterback to help his team. I said that. Remember that drop pass against what was it, Texas A&M? And I said that pass, that's the kind of pass you throw to a receiver. He should have caught the ball, but you got to lead Bashard at this point in his career, because he had to stop, make that diamond with his hands and catch. That's not a catch for him. That's a catch for Restrepo or George, or guys that can make that catch. He's not there yet. He's still developing. He's going to get there. And now you starting to see it game by game. He's starting to get better and better and better. So you have got a bunch of people that's emotional and not necessarily understanding the game or trying to understand the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he was at today. We're still looking for him. If y'all see him on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, please call local police station and somebody be trying to find out where's Brashard Smith and where did he go today? No, bro. Elijah Moore wanted to be a Cane. Miami Hurricanes did not look at him. Goes to Ole Miss. Plays with Lane Kiffin, second-round draft pick. These kids aren't trash, bro. Like, they're not overrated in my eyes. I'll tell you the ones who I think is overrated. But no, they're not trash. I have no doubt in my mind, like watching Brashard Smith his entire year, because he was a running back his whole entire youth football career. He got to high school and tried to convert as a sophomore, I think, to wide receiver. But he was always a running back. That's why sometimes he gets the ball in the open field. He can break tackles. He lowers his shoulder because he's a running back his whole life. The wide receiver stuff came later. They're not trash. They're not trash. It's almost like if you were football there's a lot more going to football, bro, than just calling plays. It's not 10-yard fight. You know what I'm saying? It's not 10-yard fight. It's a lot more going to football than calling plays. I've seen teams beat teams just by being a brotherhood.
Come on, look at this catch right here. Go back,
like
Street.
Today.
Go back, Street. Yeah. Come on, dog.
Yeah, I've seen teams beat teams just by being a brotherhood.
Look at this. Man, come on. It's trash.
No, he's not trash.
No, dog. Come on, man.
No, he's not. He's not trash. But people, I mean, after losses, you get things like that. Fine. There's no excuse for the way the University of Miami played today. Nope, no excuse. But I know, I mean, what I'm looking at is that's changed. That's something being stripped bare and people falling off the wayside. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the season, fights, coaches probably fighting, and it's just them trying to get something right.
But see, people like the crayon writer says high school film, come on. But you have to gauge it off something, bro. It's called a resume. Right? Yeah. I don't know what crayon writer do. Before you started writing with crayons, you had to write with pencils, right? So guess what, crayons? I'm just saying, somebody had to take off your body of work. And if you wrote with a pencil extremely well, crayon writer, somebody say, well, what if I put another utensil, a damn writing utensil in his hand with color? Now he don't know how to use that anymore? No. Right. You know how to color in the lines. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you have to come on, man.
They all get recruited off of high school film. Yeah, they all get recruited off a high school film. No, bro, they're not trash. I will make it equivalent to you meeting. This might suck as a you meeting this beautiful woman with 5 kids, right?
I'm
And
out.
you want to be with her. You want to be with her so
I'm
bad.
out.
You want to be with her so
Mm-hmm.
bad that you take her and her 5 kids in. You know what I'm saying? You know how the kids are going to act
Mm.
towards you as a man until you can get your culture put down, until you can get things put down away, until they're comfortable with you. And then somebody come in there and they look at you as a father and be like, man, he can't control his kids.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
I get the analogy.
It was a bad one, but I get it. I get you.
Yeah, he can't. Man, what's wrong with him? He you know what I'm saying? What's wrong with him? Them kids don't even listen to him. Well, it's gonna take some
Right.
time for you to put down
Mm-hmm.
and for them kids to be comfortable with you.
These ain't my kids. I'm working with them. My
These ain't
kids gonna
my
act like this.
kids. These ain't my kids.
What's
Can
it?
I
Go
can I
ahead.
can I can I can I segue into something about the coaches?
Run it, bro. You got it.
I said this earlier in the season. Remember, we've seen these guys for a long time. The coaches have not. So the coaches are still developing into knowing what these kids can do and what they can't do, knowing how to use them. So some things are frustrating for us to watch, and I think that's kind of still going on where we're seeing guys used in certain ways that we don't expect, or but some of it is kind of frustrating. Like we see a pivotal moment in the game today was that damn 3rd and long when Corey Flagg was still on the field. Everybody's like, when you looked at the place, what the fuck is he still doing on the field? And then I don't know if his drop was supposed to be that deep, but he dropped so deep and they threw the ball right in the middle, like in front of him for a first down. Not in front of him per se, but in front of where you would think a linebacker should be. I think 2 or 3 games ago we did that same thing, but we did it with Keontre. But Keontre has the speed to do that. And Keontre came up with a pick. I think that was the UNC game. So things like that when it comes to the coaching staff kind of baffle us, like how they was asking you, Coach Hayes, like how did we not prepare for this quarterback and what he can do? That's kind of a head scratcher because we said the same thing after after the Middle Tennessee game. Like I guess they said Wholesome said it was like we knew they was going to bring more than they was going to blitz more than we could block, and it was going to do this, and we looked unprepared. And it was the same thing today. Like it was times when we looked unprepared for their quarterback. Like our front 7 should have done a better job. They should have been keying in on all that. I'm not saying that's why we lost, but I'm just saying it's like there's something to be said about coaching, and they're still growing too. I think we just want them to grow a little faster. But I think there's something to be said about the coaches, maybe sometimes what they're doing as far as scouting and how they're using their kids. I don't know if you agree with me on that, Hayes, but that's something I've been noticing.
Is Mario and Mirabal good offensive line coaches?
I think so.
As far as we know,
They were in Oregon.
Good offensive line recruiters.
They were in Oregon. Look at Oregon.
Okay, right. So somehow our offensive line is getting their face kicked in, right?
Hurt.
But
They
I
were
think
last
right,
year.
right. There you go. So I think we know why. It's a lot of variables to this. But go ahead, Hayes. You go ask something what Cal was saying.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. I'm actually right on that play. Is that third quarter, 12-17 in the third quarter. It was 3rd and 13. But again, optically, some things look bad, right? When you see the corner get beat deep, it's usually the safety's fault. When you see Corey Flagg, what they ran right here was straight Tampa 2, old school Tony Dungy Tampa 2. You take the Mike linebacker and you end up playing cover 3 with it. So really, it's not Corey Flagg's fault. He lined up right over the bottom. Literally, when you said it, came to this play because I was on it. He lined up right over the center, turned in bail. The reason they didn't do it with James, because you're trying to disguise some things, right? Technically, that's not Corey Flagg's fault. They're supposed to converge to the ball. But because we didn't set the edge on the stunt, guess who 45 or Goudier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he get his behind pinned inside. So what happens? 13 steps outside and extends the play, and then they throw it to 7 over the middle. See, it's a lot of variable. That's one thing about football. The equation constantly changes if you keep changing things. But because they run the stun inside, Agudier get pinned inside, 13 steps out, and now he throws it to 7. So now you see
Why is
Corey
our
Flay,
defense so complicated?
because somebody maybe want to be a guru and they want to get one of them patches. So you know, you get one of them like Boy Scout patch. You go to the clinic, you can say, I invented this, like Rick Liz. I'm just being honest. It ain't that hard. Football ain't that hard, dog.
It's
Defense
not.
is to go. I tell people this is the philosophy of football. Offense is to go where you're not. Defense is to go where you are. That's it. That's the game. But we sometimes out coach yourself.
We made Vegas look like shit today. For all y'all people who be like, man, Vegas always right.
And you know the sad part? Every
that was me.
pregame show, I do the lines, and we always the favorite, dog. I think Texas A&M is the only game we haven't favored. I don't think we've covered one spread.
No.
Except like the Texas, except the
Hey, but that ain't Vegas. But that ain't Vegas' fault, because when you looked at the game for the first quarter, that should have been the ass kicking. We should have beat the shit out of them.
You're right, KB. They came to lose, KB.
What's wrong with us?
Duke
came to lose, dog. They were ready to they look unenthused. I don't know. I don't know what Vegas knew. You know what I'm saying? Because that line went up from 7 to 8. So it was 10 points when the game started, bro. 10 points.
But I see why. I see why. Do you see what
in our
P305 says? He said, do y'all see what he says? He says the defense don't look exotic to me, and I agree with that. Like I'm like we're talking about the defense being complicated, which I'm guessing, which it seems to be. But I also don't see anything special about, like, I don't see any intricate blitzes, anything that's fooling anybody. Like, I just don't see any. It's like we're letting the front four do their thing, but we're not feeding off of it. We're not eating off of it. We're not dominating off of it. It's like if the front four is not having a good game, then whatever. But I don't see any blitzes. I see Jafari Harvey. I see them. They use him in multiple ways. Go ahead.
Right.
Let me explain.
I just got it. I got you. I'll let you have it, Rich. Somebody said it's basic man to man. I just got a text. Somebody say it's basic man to man.
I agree.
Go ahead, Rich.
But the point I'm making with it is, for some reason, and Coach Hayes was just talking about it earlier, it seems like the men that are supposed to be on that field, 11 on 11, they don't do their job, right? Whether it's setting the edge, whether if you're in zone, you're supposed to switch off to a different man coming across the middle. They don't do it, or they do it late. And it's like, so is it complicated, or are we just not getting there? Which one is it? Because it's not sophisticated. I don't think it's sophisticated. I just think we're not executing.
Hey, Richard, it reminds me of that old joke. Hey, the Miami defense is only 3 players away from being dominant. Yeah, Cortez Kennedy, Ray Lewis, and Ed Reed.
But you know what's funny, guys? You say that. I've said what makes our defense hard.
Well,
I'm sorry, I still got to give credit. Our defense, we gave up big play Middle Tennessee. Our defense back was against the wall this game. I mean, bro, you get the ball. How do you play power college football starting from the 25? If that ain't fighting Mike Tyson with one hand behind your back, I don't know what is.
Bingo, Hayes.
I
often screwed our defense today, dog.
Oh no, they screwed us royally.
Our defense was good the first half, guys.
Yeah, but the second half they still getting the ball at the
25 to 30.
You're a boxing dude. You're a boxing dude. Imagine if Mike Tyson got one on top behind his back, and he got numbing agent on the other arm. It's free, but it's numb. And he got to fight a smaller opponent.
And he was married to Robin Givens. Yeah, he has no shot.
That's my point, bro. If I got to start the 25-yard line every time, and when you get there, the momentum meter is through the roof because of the turnover or whatever, and we still ended up one of them with just a field goal. Like, guys, like, come on, man. Like, some of this stuff is bad. But on the second half, one thing that's really hurting our defense, I still don't think it's a player overall, but we still don't have a dynamic pass rusher. Nope. That's why we're stuck with all these stunts. when you don't have a dynamic dude, you have to get there different ways. You can't go straight home, straight down 95. You got to get off on 27, go back wild by the canal, come back, get back on 20. You can't, you got to do something to trick yourself. We don't have a dynamic dude that we can just sit on the edge, go get that one-on-one block, and we get stunned everywhere else. I'm looking at it now, bro. There's so many stunts going on up here, twisting and turning, and we still not getting home.
Mm-hmm.
Nigel Lee Kelly.
But that's why I'm
may be
saying,
that
Coach
guy,
Hayes,
but he's
like
not that guy
it's like
now.
the front four. It's like we're doing all that with we're doing all that with the front four. Hey, sorry if I step over y'all. I think I'm lagging, but we're doing that with the front four. But it's kind of like we're not doing anything else. There's no blitzes. There's no exotic anything. It's just always just whatever the front four is gonna do. We may switch that up, but there's nothing else behind it. That's why I was saying, like, that's what I mean. Like the defense don't look exotic. I'm not trying to say it needs to be sophisticated or anything like that, but it just seemed like there's not a trick up the defensive sleeve.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you this, and Lord, I don't want to be a hater. People, the Mezzador thing with the 6 sacks last week. I'm looking at some stuff here, boy. And I said it before. I'm just being honest, calling it what it is. Damn, streak disappeared. I ain't wasn't even looking. I'm just saying, y'all, bro. Like, God Almighty, bro.
What you trying to say? It's circumstantial. Nobody else is just making those plays.
Well, those were covered sacks. Is that what you're trying to say, Hayes?
Well,
Quarterback kind of ran into the guy.
A lot of them are stunts. He stunted into the guy. We're not talking about dominant one-on-one. You snatched him, flipped your hips, got off the block, you bull rushed him, walked him in. Like it was you reap the benefits of the group's effort, if that makes sense, right?
Right.
So only one person can walk away with the stat, right? It's like the touchdown, great throw, great catch, but only one person's gonna be credited with the touchdown. But nobody credits the offensive line for the perfect blocking. It's the same thing with this, right? You reap the benefit of everybody else's work in that sense. The stunting inside, he did a good job. I just think we have, and I don't want it to sound negative, but I think our front four are journeymen. They are all role players, and there's nobody who pops off the page. I was thinking Leonard Taylor would be that guy where we have to force the double team. He's going to change the protection. I'm watching them. They block him one-on-one.
Yeah.
Looking at him now. He getting hemmed up like an old lady dress right now.
And this dude's that's smaller than him. Yeah. And this dude's that's the same size or smaller than him too.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, if you're watching, hit the like button for us, man. We've been on here for a minute, man. If you're watching, hit the like button for us. That's free. If you want to become a football villain, bro, and get access to some of this information we got. Cause it's some injuries out here. There's a couple players missing in action, bro. We just ain't asking Mario about him, and he ain't telling us yet. He ain't offering no information. If we don't ask, he ain't telling us. So if you want to become a member, man, hit the join button down there. Become a member, get access to our football member group, in which we over 200 people now. We have about 210 or something like that. Clemson came back and got a win, huh? Clemson was getting their head smashed in.
Mm-hmm. But they've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have. Yeah,
31
they came back and got a win.
boy.
We had Chad Mateo in here, former Miami commit that ended up at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is 6-1. I had to go look at their record.
31 playing fast, y'all. That boy playing fast out here, boy.
Is he?
Wesley B.
Yeah.
That's our future.
He playing fast.
That's good. That's good to know. 40 made some plays today too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I'm looking at? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna say that out loud. I don't want to be like that.
Say it.
I'm looking at zero. God, Lee, who in the world? Somebody playing the booty tube on here, dog?
It's a zero look out there.
Oh. No. I'm just saying we at the goal line tackling. Quarterback has the ball. I mean, this is the shovel pass play. And again, he shoulder shrugged the dude through the thigh board. You actually put him in the end zone. Like he flipped, he goes right over the top of you. You cut him short.
You talking about when the dude was blocking him?
No, the shovel
That play?
pass. The shovel pass when
Oh,
he
the
like,
shovel. No.
yeah, the shovel pass. I'm on zero, man.
I'm on zero, man.
He's got zero interest in wrapping up, guys. Can we be honest about it?
No, listen, he needs to get stronger or something. Like he's somebody playing. He's not playing with a lot of awareness. He needs to get stronger. He doesn't wrap up at all.
Hey, coach.
And even when he wrap up, he doesn't hit with a lot of impact.
He's not heavy. He's not
Right.
a heavy dude. So what? He's 230, but that's stretched out over a 6'5" frame. That's not a 6'1" frame. You know what I mean? So
light in the pants.
Yeah, so 230 is not heavy when you 6'5".
Somebody said better tackling drills would kind of help some of that. Better tackling drills in practice.
But he's not even trying to. It ain't like he's using the fundamentals of tackling and just getting pushed through. He just chopping wood out there, man. Now, if you're using the fundamentals of tackling, roll your hips through the guy, bring your arms, and then the guy's just stronger than you, then that's difference, right? That's just straight science, right? That's physics. This dude just cutting wood, bro.
Hey,
earlier I was talking. Go ahead, Manny.
Hey, who's the tallest person you ever coached on defense that played in that position?
At safety, maybe 6'1" dude, maybe. Nobody.
Hayes coached at House of the Blind, Sisters of the Poor.
Mm-hmm.
Mothers of the
I say that.
They blind ass was picking it off too.
Listen, earlier we were talking about Jake finding wide receivers in running positions or putting up the ball and getting 7 out of it, right? Like he comes in the game. And a lot of people just say, hey, we ran the same play with TVD. It's just today 88 broke a tackle or Mallory broke a tackle and they just happened to get loose.
The same plays, guys. I can tell y'all that. It's not different playbooks. I'm looking at them. They're the same plays. That same rub route that Kobe ran last week, Kobe Young ran, he scooted and got in front of it. They're running the same plays.
So TVD has a huge sample size, right, bro? 6 games. And his guys never break tackles or they never get open when he runs the play?
All right, hold on. Say that again now. TVD what now?
I just seem to think that TVD, he knows where he's throwing the ball for the play start. That's why sometimes you get down the distance and the guy runs a 6-yard route and we're 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 8. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's playing. I don't know if he's taking those chances. I don't know. But it seems like Jake ball placement. You know what I'm saying? It seems like Jake takes more chances.
I think he does. And I would almost say, I think because with TVD, the game plan is to feature 1 or 2 guys. I think that could possibly be a reason why Jake had, as many picks as he had, right? Because Jake's style is more so get the ball to the open guy. And I think because of the way that you had the scheme with TVD in the offense, you kind of Jake's coming in and kind of, because I saw him target guys a little bit more than he normally would as well. But I think next week, if he is starting, I think that you see a lot more distributing of the football with Jake as opposed to the way that TVD does it.
They're throwing it to the same person. They're throwing it to the same person. They're throwing it. I'm sorry, but I hear y'all. And I think we're giving too much credit. When you look at the plays, and if we had, I can't do it. That's too much. I don't have no team of people like this. If you go find the same exact plays, they're different points. They're throwing it to the same person. So this particular play 1 goes to player X. Play 2 goes to player Y. Play 3 goes to player Y. Play 4 goes to player X. Like they're looking at it. Like if you look at it, it's the same. It's the same. It may not be the same person. They may change personnel, so it looks different. But if it's 2x2, it may be Mallory on this play that's on this spot, and then they change it and put Bashard Smith right here. But that particular play is the same player on the chalkboard they're going to throw it to. Does that make sense what I'm saying? They're
It
just
makes sense.
they change the personnel.
Mhm.
So I think it's a play because if you look at him, he's looking at it. You know, when people talk about progressions, these are look-offs. They're not progressions. I'm looking down the middle of the field with my face, but my eyes are looking to the right.
Mm-hmm. So the wide receivers just get luckier when Jake throws on the ball.
No, I just think it may be some again, right?
Mallory gets open field and runs. Looks fast today because he had open field and run. When Jake throws,
scores his first touchdown.
okay,
of the
well we say
season.
this. Listen, we can't patience, right? We can't make it 3 weeks from now. If Jake has to be the quarterback, right? Everybody in the comment section spewing because people just take their own side. If you like TVD, you like TVD. If you think they both suck, they both suck. If you team Jake, you team Jake. If Jake has to play these next couple of weeks, right?
People in the rest
in
of
the
the year.
comment section, y'all, if he has to play the rest of the year, in the comment section, y'all telling me he's going to look worse than TVD, or y'all telling me he's going to look just like TVD? Because we're not going off what we like is when he get thrust in the game. We're not going to do that. You get thrust in the game. You know what I'm saying? Give him a couple weeks with the offense, because we know the offense had not got tailored to what TVD needs to do well. So what are we saying? We saying Jake gonna look just like TVD? Okay. HGSK say Jake's gonna look just like TVD. Crayon say he'll look better. Did TVD throw a touchdown pass today?
Yeah, right here to Kobe Young, back in the end zone.
Back in
And
the
you
end
can
zone.
watch
Damn, that was right in our face.
Nah, that was Jake. He threw 2.
No, I'm
So
looking at
TVD threw one in the first half.
TVD threw one. He threw one.
In the first half, in the back of
they first touchdown.
Yeah,
right
Jake
after
threw
the pick.
Jake
Right
threw the one to
after
Mallory and to Kobe, right?
Kobe.
yeah.
Kobe
Kobe
had
caught 2.
Yeah, he caught 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the play right here, the very first touchdown.
Yeah, right in the back of the end zone.
He looking him the whole way. He waiting for him to clear. He know where he going with this ball.
That's what I'm talking about. Even the announcers when they look at TVD play, they're like, "Oh, he's gonna throw to the right," like they know where he's going.
You want to say TVD threw for 400 yards? We saying he's gonna be better. Boy, y'all got amnesia. When TVD threw for 400 yards, when he threw for 400 yards versus 2 games ago.
Tech. I mean,
what?
I'm sorry, dog.
Against UNC.
UNC.
And how many touchdowns he had that game? Let me see.
2?
Like 2?
No, 3.
2?
3 for 350. 3. He threw for 3, 1 in because I remember saying he was going to throw for 3 touchdowns, 350 yards, and an interception. So he threw for 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 496.
Okay, so E1 is a villain. You know what I'm saying? We could talk to E1 in a group. So E1, you saying there's no way Jake outplays TVD? Let's be clear. No, there's no way because TVD. You know what I'm saying? What we see with TVD is the epitome. So well, I don't know, but you saying there's no way because TVD produced those. What it was 2 games he had that got hot.
Right. Before those 2 games, his stats looked horrible. So we can't do it based on just his stats, overall, because you take away those 2 games and it's terrible. But my whole thing is this: it's not even about Jake being head and shoulders better than TVD. It's not about that. What it is about is, as a quarterback, when you come in, you manage the game a certain type of way, right? And when you manage the game a certain type of way, you might throw guys open a little bit more. Guys may be more confident in you. You might do certain things like you look off the receiver that you're throwing to. That way, you give your guy, even if it's just a half a second more of separation, that way you could actually complete that pass. And those things, even though you might end up with the same 300 yards passing, but those equate to efficiency because now you're 300 yards passing with 4 passing touchdowns, right? As opposed to 800 yards passing and you got 3 touchdowns. So it's just like
Yeah,
if you play basketball and you have a double double versus scoring 15 points in the fourth quarter.
like what I think we got to take into account as I look at this. Like we talked about Mallory scoring his first touchdown, right? Guess what? Duke blew the. I'm looking at it. They blew the coverage.
Yeah.
That's why. You know why they went straight man? They ran all three guys across the formation. Mallory comes underneath it, but guess what? Their guy didn't go with Mallory. That's why he. That's why he put a ball naked open out there, and there's
Yeah.
nobody left on the field. So what I'm saying is, like, it's the same play. They
Nobody
throw this.
blows coverages with TVD quarterback. You just don't find them.
What a coincidence.
No, but it made. But like I said, it made it. But no, that's because I hear what you're saying, but they blew it. Like they blew it. Maybe it's a miscommunication, whatever. And I get where you're coming from, Street, but at the same time, when he does throw the big ball, right? We don't say that same thing. Oh man, they blew the cover. Nah, TVD threw a great ball, right? No, they blew the dang coverage as well. Then maybe they have, maybe they haven't. That's why most plays happen, especially in the passing game. Is either I outplay the man that's covering me, or there's some mix up in coverage. My big behind could have scored this one with Mallory. I could have ran enough.
Mallory was moving too.
Man,
You only see Mallory run fast every now and then.
boy, running like he gonna need a hip replacement by 27th birthday. This ball joint's gone. But it's so unfortunate, bro.
You say it's unfortunate.
Yeah, dog. This is unfortunate because what I hate to see for the Hurricanes, and I hate to see for a lot of people, this kind of stuff creates people to point fingers. We have to. You can't tell me, dog, if Duke and Miami got on 2 school buses and went to Risco Park and played, Miami don't walk out victorious, dog. Yes, we walk out victorious. You can't tell me we don't have. If I have all these players, I guarantee, Streeter, if me and you was the captain of the team, and we ain't know who was who, and we just had to pick players, one of us will have more Miami players on your team because you be like, okay, that dude look like a ball player. He look like a ball player. He look like a ball player. Bro, these dudes, oh, come on, Duke. Come on, Duke, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I didn't go to the press conference, but I actually heard this from other media guys. Footballville, why in the post-game conference did the players just act like, who cares, we just lost? I didn't see it, but I heard that from some other media guys too.
Jeez.
They're tired, dog. They're tired of losing. The days were supposed to be different. The nightmare, as you say, was supposed to be over. And it's not. If they're not going to point the finger at themselves, it's very hard for a 17-year-old kid to say, I'm the reason we lost this game when I balled out.
Street, say what you said again about the media.
A few guys from the media, because I didn't go. I didn't want to give Mario access to me. So I didn't go. I didn't go this time, and they said a few of the players were acting like whatever. Matter of fact, I'm sure it was one guy. I'm sure it was one comment, but you know how messages get get forwarded around. You know what I'm saying? So somebody in that press conference was like, "Man, I don't give a fuck." And that's how he came off.
I just want to make sure I heard you when you said that, because I would be remiss to not once again bring up mindset. I mentioned this today, and someone when I was up there, I think I said this. No, it wasn't X. I seen X post game. X wasn't having it. X is just trying to clean the tailgate, head back to the house. He was just like, I'm over it. But I brought up anybody who has had any involvement or been around that turnover chain may have to.
Man, the curse of the chain?
I ain't say no curse. Let's not go
Damn,
there.
that's like
right?
the Brady Bunch when they went to Hawaii and they had that tiki thing, and all the bad stuff started happening. If you wore the tiki chain, you got your leg broken, or oh man.
I am not talking about no damn curse, Steve. I ain't talking about if you were ever associated with that shit, because someone had brought up a very good point. I think it was on your show, Hayes.
About the phone, yeah, the guy that was talking, the older guy.
Yeah, and how these kids like they need some type of motivation for some reason. It seemed as if that was until it wasn't. Obviously, you getting your ass
It's called your job. That should be the motivation.
You know what's funny? You say that. I'm gonna tell you, it's funny y'all say that. I was listening to Saban in the press conference, and he was talking about his team when they played Tennessee. Y'all may have heard this. And most people think Nick Saban, no sense, da 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 da. And he said, something was wrong with my team. They normally chant before the game.
Yeah.
And he said, what did he say? Why y'all ain't chanting? Why y'all not chanting?
Yeah.
So he may act like he don't know what's going on. He don't like that stuff, but he knows his team. And he knew something was wrong. And that's old head Nick Saban, right? Most coaches don't like that stuff, right? Most coaches don't. You think Nick Saban know who the Kodak and could sing that song, but he know they should be chanting something. And he said he knew something was wrong with his team because he said they normally be chanting and stuff. See, they not robots. People think because it's Alabama, they robots, they program, blah, blah, blah. Nick Saban is at the control. He like, bro, something wrong. You know what I mean? And you got to give some. It's a different generation. Yeah, that jump back in the day when Mario had a neck roll on this big and all them days are over, bro.
No, but coach, when Mario played in Miami, they were renegades. They did a lot of buck wild stuff. It was great. They used to run through teams' warm-ups. They used to block them through the tunnel. I actually think we're missing that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the only reason.
But are the kids afraid of that?
I hope not.
I'm gonna just say this, Kim. The only reason the turnover chain is going,
hell yeah, they are.
It was tied to Manny Diaz. If it wasn't tied to Manny Diaz, bro, that is the most Miami thing we got, dog. We just run out through the smoke. We are the reason people have smoke when they come out. We're the reason people throw the fours up. We are the pioneers and the trendsetter and the trailblazers to a lot of the antics that go on in college football.
So here's what we need to do.
Talk your shit, Hayes.
Team playing next week. We need to travel in army fatigues. I don't care what the administration says. Everyone dress in army fatigues. That's what we need to do.
I agree.
Hey, by the way,
Streeter. Then I've said that before. I wonder if these kids don't understand fully Mario, or maybe Mario is just that much of a dictator. Coach Hayes, you was talking about Saban, and I pointed it out, and I was like, with Mario, he has to understand adjustments. The kids can't be the only ones making adjustments. I said, because people could think Saban is whatever, just like you said, but Saban, Tom Coughlin, Bill Belichick, all of these guys have said they had to make adjustments and become more, I guess, friendlier or more, in tune with the players. It's the same with their mouths. Like plot. Because he just straight up drill sergeant this and this and that. He had to change. He had to make that adjustment. So it might be the same thing with Mario.
I guarantee if you do a poll right now and you say, do you think Nick Saban allows his players to chant before they go on the field? Yes or no? I guarantee it'll probably be 80% no. Most people would think he ain't having that. Act like you've been here before, right? Act like it's straight business. It's this and that. And come to find out, his players do chant in the doggone tunnel.
We got E1 in here. E1, 1 second, Kim. E1, what's going on? You have something you want to say?
What's up? Y'all good?
Yo, what's
going on, bro?
I see y'all moving on to something else. I came to talk about the little TVD and Jake thing. What?
I mean, just so your point, you just want to, so just make the overall point, because we did move on from, but we can go back. You
I just
think TVD and Jake? Go ahead.
my overall thing is it's obvious. Like I'm in the group me, we all in the. To me, it's obvious, and I don't mind it. It's obvious everybody got a liking with Jake. Everybody like Jake. Like he the new thing. Even during his recruitment, everybody high. He highly rated. Everybody like him. But I don't understand. I don't know if maybe some people don't know what they watching or they not watching. When he gets in, everybody think it's something different. Like I don't understand. I don't understand what people are seeing. The same play, like you said, Mallory broke, right? That was the little mesh concept Gaddis run. He run it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That same play Mallory broke, he
Right.
threw it to the drag, was the same play Jake threw a pick on. And he threw it to the hunt route in the middle.
Right.
So when we say this he was different the handcuffs off the offense. Like what are we
Ain't the
like what are
same
we
over.
watching? Oh,
Nobody puts the handcuffs on the starting quarterback.
He
That
won.
makes no
like
sense.
what are we talking
He
about?
won. I said that for the Middle Tennessee State game.
But that okay, even with that, we talking about Middle like I know we lost. We talking about Middle Tennessee. He got in and went 50% against Middle Tennessee. Like, what are we talking about?
What we talking about is
How I don't understand where this like
Okay, so listen, everyone, calm down, slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take today, right? So we're saying that the same pass he threw to Mallory, right?
Right.
The same pass that TVD been doing all year long.
You do remember the UNC game when we was trying to score before the half on the little mesh concept and Mallory broke and he almost scored? That's
almost.
the same
He
thing.
did. How close he got?
Like to the 5-yard line. He was farther,
but he didn't score, right?
Okay, but if we talking about
But calm down, bro.
No, I'm just my bad. I'm talking regular. It's no animosity.
But listen. Okay. In the same go route, whatever that was, he threw the 88 today, right?
Right.
Same one that TVD threw versus North Carolina in the back of the end zone. Same play.
Street. It's a go route. We are seeing go routes like it was. It was great placement, great play. He broke.
So, but we seen Jake get in twice, right?
Right.
Threw one to Keyshawn Smith, right?
Right.
And he threw one until he got in today. As soon as he got in, he finds 88, right?
Right.
And you're just saying it's the same thing. We just biased towards.
No, I'm saying when people saying the offense is
when you take on the road, what is it for?
I don't see how people are saying the offense is changing. It's kind of like when people were saying the defense is changing when Manny was here, like, fourth quarter, Baker calling the plays. It's the same thing. It's just it worked this time. He broke this time. The last week, Kobe caught it one hand this time. The week before, he caught it in the back of the end zone this time. Like, I don't understand. I understand he the new shiny toy. His energy great. He's Cali, kind of like South Florida, so we probably relate to him more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he probably like y'all talk about it. Like, he relate to the kids more. I get that, but I don't like everybody. It seemed like everybody nitpicking TVD, but with Jake, we like, all right. TVD, Jake stare down receivers. We like, oh, he got to get another week. He stared them down in the Middle Tennessee game.
Listen, does Jake need more time? Yes or no?
100%. 100%.
So we need to group me together, right? So just you going on. So go on the record and just say 3 weeks from now, if Jake is a quarterback, shit gonna look the same. That's what you're saying.
Look the same. You saying like what is? I don't understand what you're saying.
No,
look the same.
Well, I mean,
you talking about Jake or like
same plays, it'll be same result. We'll be averaging 20 points a game, right? Whatever we average, and it'll be the same result. That's what we saying.
I don't know. I think we do for some points, bro. Like,
yeah, he getting better wide receivers. He's gonna have better wide receivers.
Red zone,
right?
But that's what my thing though. Y'all keep minimizing it to if he's gonna. I think Jake is a good player. I think he's gonna if with a week of preparation, all that. I think he's gonna be better. Just like when TVD got in last year, he didn't play well, and then couple weeks, he got rolling. But I don't. But with everybody saying like it's like Jake when he throws a pick and he stared down receivers, we got it was he ran the, even though I'm not saying y'all wrong, but he ran this route. But nobody talk about in other games when it was supposed to be a 10-yard route and somebody ran it 12 and TVD incomplete, and they say, oh, he didn't make the throw. You get what I'm saying? Like, why is it? I don't understand. Because to me, they play for Miami. Whichever one is gonna win us the game, I'm cool. If Jake come and TVD don't start again and we winning, I don't care, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Ja'Cory Matocha, I don't. It could be any one of them.
Hey, Coach.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at the film. I apologize. Go ahead.
Coach,
John
I have
Campbell.
a question for you. On
John
that
Campbell.
play that
I'm about to jump off
TVD,
my second floor. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
yeah, on that play that TVD got hurt in, it looked to me like it was a hot, and he should have just swung it out to Rooster out in the flat. Am I wrong or right?
100% TVD's fault. 100%.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to recognize that, and that's where Jake Garcia is a little bit better. He's quicker off the trigger, even though he holds the ball a long time sometimes too. But on that play, you have to feel that pressure, and sometimes, you know what?
You didn't have to
Come
feel
out
it.
to the flat.
Yeah.
Kim, they didn't have to
It
show
was set up that way, right, Hayes? It was set up, right?
Standing on the line of scrimmage, unblocked. He doesn't slide the protection to the left. If you know you want to, no, I talked about this in good, bad, and ugly. I'm gonna say it again. The guy that tore his back out is literally on the thing, digging his cleats in the grass, like I'm coming, mother.
Like I'm coming.
Here we go.
Hello.
You know, as TVD, he knows that all 5 guys are going in the route. That means it only leaves 5 guys to block. So guess what? If you know your pre-snap read tells you to look to the right, slide the guys to the left to protect the hot dude. I'm going to take the hot that's coming in my face so I can see it. I can't see behind me and read this. I can peripheral the guy coming at me. He never slid the protection to the left to send Campbell or whoever it was that way to at least protect his back. So that guy came scot-free, and they brought a safety. But forget the safety. He got there second.
Coach, I got a question. You watch it. To me, that play was on TV. The overall, like our overall, I don't think Gaddis is giving the quarterbacks enough answers for the blitz.
You don't need answers, dog.
No, but if he flips it to the rooster, that's the answer. That's the answer. Flip it to rooster. That's the answer.
Let him finish. I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about that specific play. It's a lot of plays. It's a lot of plays where it's long developing routes, and it's not like it's max protection. We seeing the blitz coming. It's no hot routes. Y'all saying a hot route, but you got to where on that play it was a hot route. I'm not talking.
No, it was no hot route. He didn't need a hot route.
No,
okay.
I'm not talking about that one play though. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
They've been blitzing us since week 2, and I don't see enough answers for it. That's what I'm saying.
All right, can I ask you a legit question?
They
take it out of football. We finna go have a fight. Me and you, me and our group finna go fight the football villains. It's 10 of them. How many do you plan on bringing to the fight?
10.
You sure?
Or more. 10 or more.
Did you need a coach to tell you, hey guys, we finna have a fight?
I understand.
They can have 6 at this bar fight, and I'm only gonna say, hey, let's bring 5. Unless I got Bruce Leroy with me and some real gangsters.
One second. But on that play, I think it's the same play. The offensive line slid, but they slid the other way, though.
I know.
Yeah, they went the other way. Yeah. And they left the 2 to come right. Yeah, but they went the other way, and he didn't move. I didn't know if he was supposed to go with him. You know what I'm saying? But they went the other way. He didn't move.
That's what
And Rooster was really frustrated. It looked like he thought he had room.
He was frustrated.
He had space.
Rooster saw the blitz coming. He like, throw it to me.
Yeah.
And TBD looked at him like, nah, I'm good. Let me go the other way.
I don't even think he looked at him. He tried to roll out, make a play. I don't know. He should have threw it to him.
He saw him.
But what I'm saying,
you're right. He did see him.
But I'm saying he didn't even. I think he knew he was there, but he was looking downfield. He didn't even I don't think it was a thought for him to throw the Rooster.
Yeah, because he's not taking into account this dude that's digging his cleats in the ground is coming to spear you in the back. He's not thinking like that. Right. So he looked at Rooster like, oh, I got time.
Right.
I don't need to throw this right now. Oh, I saw you, Rooster. Let me check down here to see if it's a guy open deeper. And if it's not, I'll come back to you. But he don't know that this dude is coming on the backside unblocked. Now you sit up there with a sling on your arm. Good GDI. Because you're a GDI. Goddamn individual.
E1? Coke Dog, what's up with you and E1?
I don't know what's up with Coke. I'm cool.
Oh,
I don't know what's up with Coke.
Oh man.
I ain't finna.
he
Hey,
was just talking about
what you say?
the football villains fight.
Oh yeah.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a rollout. I'm looking at the play right now. It wasn't even a rollout.
That's why I'm not
The
saying
line did shift though, right? The line shifted, right? The line shifted to the right.
They just big on big.
No.
That's it. Ball protection, big on big.
Well, maybe we're talking about a different play then. So how many times he got sacked today? He got sacked a few times?
Yeah, 1, 2. Well, they're showing right now. Listen to me. Everybody's on a route. They're showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. They're showing 6.
Right.
Kill yourself with that foolishness, man.
We got 5 on the line, right?
We got 5 plus Rooster in the backfield.
Oh, Rooster went on a swing route immediately.
No, I'm saying
it was there, Coach. I'm telling you, it was.
No,
there.
I'm talking about before the play. You saying before the play they show 6. I mean, they show 6 at the line, and I'm saying we got 5 at the O line, and we got Rooster in the backfield if we need him to stay in to protect.
That's correct. But what you can do is, if you know, if that's the case, you slide him, and then you say, "Hey, Rooster, damn your route, you block that dude."
That's what I'm telling. I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing that play. I'm talking about overall.
Overall, I get it. But all I'm saying is, and I'm with you overall. All I'm saying is, damn you, Coach, you ain't in this helmet getting your back broke. So, unless I'm willing to protect myself, if you don't like it, bench me.
Right.
And as a QB, you're supposed to call the protection at the line. You're supposed to call it.
But a center actually.
But it was two mistakes on that play. Somebody's supposed to call the protection. Usually, your center might call it. If he does not see it, your quarterback is standing right there and sees it. You can call it.
Mm-hmm.
Second mistake is you see Rooster, because everybody saw it. Rooster was like, for like 2 seconds, Rooster threw his hands up like, "Yo, I'm wide open," and TVD's like, "Nope," and looked downfield, as Coach Hayes said earlier.
Right.
So on that play,
he saw the blitz, like, throw me the ball, hurry up, the dude come and throw it. But he can't see that because his back is turned. He's looking at Rooster like, okay, good. Let me check to see if I got a little more time. Oh, and then I'll come back to you as a check down route. But Rooster's saying, like, dude, you in trouble. Come with me. Nah, let me see what that girl look like. Nah, the dude say he finna shoot old boy.
Hey guys, the center call it sometimes too, right? Go ahead, Kim.
The other play that really just annoyed me, second half, we're down by, I think, 10 points. We had 3rd and 3. We're right near midfield, so I think it's a 4-down situation. And I'm sick and tired of Gaddis doing this. We need to stop running rollouts to the left on the with the right-handed quarterback. You guys know what situation I'm talking about?
Yep. I think so. Yeah.
Let's get. I don't get it. First of all, I don't like rollouts to begin with because it shortens the field unless it's like a sprint right option. But I do not like right-handed quarterbacks rolling out to the left. It was a cluster F of a play. And then we didn't make it on 4th down.
He might be left-handed. Most guys do things because I know it's gonna sound crazy.
Jake ain't though.
No, I know, but I'm telling you, I've seen this. I've seen a left-handed coordinator call stuff to the left just because subconsciously he does that, not realizing that the quarterback's right-handed. I've seen it. Josh, do me a favor, Street. With next press conference, ask Coach Gaddis or watch him write something and see if he write a left-handed.
Oh, you saying Gaddis?
Gaddis may be left-handed.
Okay.
That play made no sense, though, because I'm thinking we got 2 plays to make 3 yards. And that's what we run is a rollout to the left. I was like, okay.
That pissed me off. I did not understand that. And if you knew you were gonna go for it on 4th, why didn't you try running it on 3rd?
Yeah, you could have ran.
Yeah, you might as well run it on 3rd, knowing you're gonna go for it on 4th.
Right, Kyle,
that was so confusing.
Just try to run it one time at least.
On 3rd, that should have been you should have came in with the Jacurri package. Had 2 plays for Jacurri. If we don't get it on third, I got another play for Ja'Cory on fourth. Like that's what you should have done.
Y'all want a positive take for the future, dog? Oregon winning with Mario Kids. Yes.
That is a testament to the recruiting of Cristobal. And by the way, I watched all that game. If that's what our offensive line looks like in 2 years, I'll take him. I got to tell you, they have Bo Nix looking like an All-American right now.
It'll be better.
He's not getting touched.
It'll be better.
I got a better one. Y'all want some
He
real
would get
insight?
better kids. He would get better recruits to come to University of Miami. Remember I said that. Go ahead, Tay.
Hold on.
Hell yeah, they ain't.
I'll say I got a better one. Y'all want to know a better one?
Oh no.
What's up?
Coach Gaddis got a book for $29.95. It's called Putting Defenses in Conflict. Y'all want to buy it? Maybe we could sell it, give it to him for Christmas.
Give it to him.
Hey, but
Give him his own book.
Hayes, I heard it's only one page and it's empty. It's blank.
I'm just telling you. I'm looking at it now. It's the whole $29.95 you could buy right now. Championshipproducts.com.
I think I see.
Wait a minute. You said Gaddis made that book?
It says author Josh Gaddis. I'm just being honest. I ain't
Kyle can't believe it.
It's like a breakdown. It's like a breakdown of his offense.
No, this
Maybe
is a
he
book.
stopped reading the book then.
No.
Stopped reading the book.
No, that's a video.
Did he plagiarize that though?
There's a DVD, or you can get the instant video for $29.99. Add to cart.
I might be.
I like
Santa
Gaddis
get
though.
that for somebody.
I just busted his balls.
I'm not against. Yeah, I'm not against Gaddis, but yeah, some of this stuff is just and again, he's probably growing as an OC. You know what I mean? And I got to give him that. But a lot of this stuff I need to see gone next year. I'm not talking about his concept, but just some of the decision making and some of the concepts. Some of this stuff got to be gone.
You know what I'm upset about, fellas, and I'm gonna be honest. This is to me the pass protection I keep harping on. Reggie said, "Does he have a coloring section?" The
People crazy, man.
And they give you the waffle. They give you the waffle. They give you, hey Reggie, I whipped your butt in that fantasy too. But anyway, so here's the funny thing. What I'm getting tired of, and I'm tell you what bothers me, because it is about progression. Y'all remember last year when I kept used to talking about the defensive end dropping to nothing on our zone blitzes with Manny Diaz?
Yep.
Y'all remember? This is what's happening now. But with Josh, bro, we're talking about the essentials of passing. The first thing you have to do is block. And every week, good, bad, and ugly, every breakdown I've done, I'm talking about pass protection, bro. You got the slot. You have to build your bulletproof vest. You ain't gonna last that long, dog. This ain't Call of Duty. You ain't gonna spawn back to life, bro. Now look at you. Your ass is shot.
He gonna spawn back to life.
How many of them 300-pound bullets are you gonna take? And now look at you, huh? Heisman hopeful? Nope. Infirmary, a resident. That's what you are right now.
You ain't gonna spawn back to life.
Well, that boy,
No, I'm being honest.
Player 1, player 2, add money.
Hayes.
Player 2, add 50 cents.
I'm just being honest when I say that, because it's going back to the same concept. How can we plan to pass the ball if you on your back? The guys are right there. The number one thing they do is count the box. You know what's in your box because you know who's going on the routes. I know it's empty. I know it's only 5. Okay, this is simple math, dog. I got 5. Well, they got 6. I'm +1. I'm the +1. Now, where my pre-snap read? To my right. All right, laser. Send everybody to the left. I take care of the hot off the right. It's football. That's the progression you go through when you come out the huddle. Ready? Break. 2 high safety. All right, middle of the field should be open. I'm empty. I got 5-man box. I got 6. I'm +1. Laser. He coming hot off the right. Bingo. I give a signal to the dude. He the hot route. Said green to the bomb. It's done.
Okay, but coach, if they've been blitzing since week 2 and we haven't seen much improvement for that, who's that fall on?
Josh Gaddis. Sorry, Josh Gaddis.
Guys, can I give Coach Haystradamus some credit? He forecast the future at the halftime of the Bethune-Cookman game when we hung out during the third quarter. Haystradamus looked into the crystal ball and says, nah, not liking this.
Damn, Bethune? Damn.
He flat out told me. I'm their witness.
I talked to him that night too. He was talking about 9 routes, right? Can't
Well,
run 9 routes.
listen. Bro, that what happened against Bethune? That was no different from then when Lashley got here and we played UAB, and everybody said after the game, "Oh, we're saving it. It's this and it's this." And no, man, you got to know when the duck is a duck, and that's how Coach Hayes saw the Bethune game. You saw that shit wasn't gonna be right.
I saw that to the
But
spring
again,
game.
I favor Gaddis because we've seen him make a. Oh really? Damn, Coach, shit. I give it up for that one then. But I
Bro,
like
you
the
know
fact
what I
that
saw in the
he's
street?
willing to adjust. You got 90% of the coaches wouldn't have even adjusted or made any changes.
Listen, the reason I said I saw it in the spring game, Georgia Tech, who back when they was running the wing T in they spring game, they threw a go route. Everybody throws a go route in the spring game because it's fun. It's for the audience. You know, it's a dress rehearsal, right? It's a dress rehearsal. It's you want the crowd to go, ooh, wow, look at that. Look, mommy. Like, you know, it's for the fan. And we threw one. And I said, but I didn't call it because it's only happened once. When it happens twice, it forms a pattern. And I saw Bethune, I said, and that's when I saw Kim. We was on the third level. Yep. And I said, hey, Kim, I said, bro, eating pie. I said, bro, this don't look good, man. This don't look good at all.
And then Southern Miss, the way we looked offensively, guys, watch that game again. TVD don't look like that game.
At all.
All the signs were there.
I said he had COVID, remember? And then he came to the podium and said, if I play like this, we will lose. And he went to Texas A&M and we lost. And then he went to Middle Tennessee and we lost. But goddamn, TV Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Well, I will have to say, riddle me this. You know, after everybody was after the Middle Tennessee State game, TVD started to actually use footwork and roll out of the pocket and do stuff that we was like, why wasn't he doing it during Southern Miss? Why didn't he do it during the Texas A&M game? His footwork was tremendously better during the UNC game as well as the Virginia Tech game. So I feel like had he been ready to play the game from the first game of the season, and this probably goes back to some of our questions because we was like, are they just running a vanilla offense, you know, during the spring game, or they don't want nobody to see what they're trying to do? Maybe that has something to do with it.
Hell no.
Had he been ready, but check it. Had he been ready to play, do we go in there and no? But had he been ready to play, do we go in there and actually beat Texas A&M? Because I mean, we were basically one touchdown away.
I'll say this: if we, instead of waiting till week 5 to adjust the offense, if we adjust it in spring, what do we look like?
I mean, adjustments, like
we're still not scoring a lot of points, guys.
That's but I think right, but that's like the red zone issue's been there probably every game besides Bethune and Southern Miss. So
I think I get what you're saying, E1.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
No, I just think I give Gaddis credit for adjusting, but I think they came here and they, like Tree said before, they look at TVD as Heisman. They thinking we could put him in this and he gonna fit with it. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you got to do.
Shit, I need a $2 million job then. If it take $2 million, and we giving a dude credit for adjusting to throwing a 9 route. Listen, bro. I'm sorry, and I apologize. And I'm
go ahead.
now. But all I'm saying is we can't give credit. That he want credit. Go get a visa, dog. Here's what I'm saying. You're a $2 million dude, a broil. See, this is the narrative that everybody wanted when we hired his ass. A Broyles Award winner of this. He's this. He knows how to do this. The dude got a DVD he's selling for $29.99 about how to put people in conflict. And now we're giving him credit because he adjusted. Adjusted to what? To what? To mesh routes? That's all we do is mesh concepts. I'm cool with that. How about we adjust the protection? How about we adjust the protection, bro?
Hey, Coach,
How about you adjust? Bro, hold up, Kim. It's 6 dudes at this fight, and there's only 5 of us. What are we talking about?
Hey, Coach, that's like giving credit to he no longer commits crime. Give him credit. He's adjusting. Come on.
All I'm saying is, like, come on, man. Like, it's enough. I'm tired. I'm gonna have to be. I'm like my dog 12, man. We are now. This is a prime example of making excuses, and I'm speaking in generalities here. Of fan bases making excuses because it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit when you was in the barbershop. Yeah, boy, them Cane's back, boy. But we got the prodigal son. Well, that boy, he's a grinder. That boy spent 20 hours a day.
10-2.
That we going 10-2. We winning the Coastal. He's a great recruiter. He's this NIL. John Ruiz. He bought everything in the world, but the water in the ocean. He did all this. He did all that. And now this is our lame excuse. Well, I give him credit. He made adjustments.
No, it's not excuse at all. Not excuse at all.
How about this? You pay me $2 million. I give $1.5 million back to the university.
So my question is this.
What's the alternative? Wait a hold on, KB. So what's the alternative?
Look, my question is this. My question is this.
As far as Sunday. What's the alternative though? What's
no?
So you're saying that to say what?
What I'm saying is, I personally, and Street, you know, we talk about it. We get bogged down with a lot of stuff from different ways. What I'm saying is, we got to stop. At Denny Green say, we let him off the hook.
Crown him. Crown him.
Crown him.
Who we thought he was.
Ahead, KB. KB, go ahead.
No. The reason I said that was because, and I'm sorry, KB, but the reason I want to answer your question, Street. What I'm saying is, we come up with all these different narratives for a dude we're giving credit to, and he was supposed to be the elite of his hiring. He's the Broyles Award winner. He built Michigan to finally beat Ohio State. He built Michigan up in 3 years to win the Big Ten championship. Got him in the playoffs. And we can't beat fucking Duke. We can't beat Middle Tennessee. They got 2 mascots. They're the Lightning and the Blue Lightning or whatever, and the Blue Red Raiders.
We talking about Mario or Gaddis? Who we talking about? Gaddis or Mario?
We're giving credit to Gaddis. I was talking about Gaddis. I was talking about Gaddis. I was talking about he was the Broyles Award winner. He came in. I'm not trying to bash him. What I'm saying is, let's just hold him accountable. Let's not make excuses. And when I look at this film, day one and pass blocking is day one, and it's not just his fault. You know who else's fault that is? The guy that says he's gonna cut his arms and legs off, and me and Mirabal cool, and we may not be after this. But I'm just being honest. You being an O-line coach is not just about run blocking, bro. Coach Cristobal, you're the O-line coach. It's not just about run blocking. You got to know how to slide. 45. Hey, laser, Louis. You see him pointing people out. What you doing? The new Macarena? What are you doing, dog? You pointing them out for what? I'm hot. I'm tired, dog. I'm tired. And I'm tired because this is simple. This is day one stuff, bro. This is not, like you said, Duke ain't doing nothing complicated.
Right.
Are they yes or no? Are they teaching it or not? You think they just
Apparently not. They're not teaching it because they're continuously doing it. It's not a hiccup or like the Tony Grimes blitz. I can't blame TVD for getting his head knocked off with the Tony Grimes blitz, UNC the corner blitz. That young man sold that perfectly. The design was set up perfectly. NFL cats wouldn't have caught that one. Mm-hmm. But to see the guy lined up like the program, yeah, tell your mama I'm finna come knock her out. He telling you I'm coming.
Right.
And you're going to say, man, you stop playing. Man, get out of here with that foolishness, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know how to say it.
I'm hot.
We assume TVD knows certain things, right?
Jake can't do it either. I'm watching Jake get split.
Jake got split a couple of times.
Thank you. Because why? I'm going to go to the bar with 2 friends, and they got 6.
Yep.
It's math,
What the
dog.
QB coach doing? But look, listen. My point about him and his hold on. My point to him about. I know you wasn't like talking to me. I know you just talking in general. But my point about him us liking the fact that he adjusts because you don't want a coach that sit there and be stubborn. And most coaches are stubborn. So I think he
Right.
do get props for being able to try to fix what he got. The thing is, if I come and I bring a system and we run it in practice, and my QB that was lights out last year runs this shit in practice and it looks good, and I'm asking Streeter because he's there. If this shit looks good, why would I not take it into a game? Why would I not take it into 2 games? Because we're saying, well, maybe we should have did this in the spring, or maybe we should have did it. No, I'm running my system. He looks good in that system. It is working in practice. I got nowhere else where I can run this except in practice, and it's working. Why would I not take it to the game? So I do give him props of saying, okay, shit, what's working in practice ain't working in the game. Let me fix it. So I do want a guy that's gonna go ahead and look towards the future and say, okay, well, I can adjust to do this and I can fix this, instead of seeing like the same old stubborn shit like Manny sending all his guys upfield as opposed to, okay, we need to work on containment and things like that. So
Right.
I think we do have to take the good with the bad in that and give the man props for his good, and of course lay the bad on him. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
TBD looks lights out in practice. We said it 100 times. Jake looked like Jake looked today in practice. We've said that. We've said that 100 times. People who say why we didn't fix it in the spring, listen, bro, you come to a team and they say we got a Heisman Trophy candidate, possible first rounder, right? He looks decent in practice. Mario said, hey, he's one of the number 1 quarterbacks in the nation. It's one thing that we all thought we didn't have to worry about. We all did. Everybody on this panel, all the fans, was TVD.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they found out something about TVD the same time we found out something about TVD. There's things he's limited at. There's things he's great at. No different than I go to Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray. Like, there's some things they can't do, but there's some things they will kill your ass with.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we always look at the white quarterback like that. We don't. We look at him as he's a conventional quarterback and he can play quarterback. But we never look at them as being limited unless we're talking about their legs.
Mm-hmm.
But
sometimes the motherfuckers are limited in their head too, bro. And the things that they know.
Or can't read defenses.
And I'm not guessing. All right? I'm not guessing.
It's what we
they
see.
They have limitations sometimes too. And I think they learned it at the same time, and it was like, wait a minute. We got to make him comfortable, the first rounder? Okay, hold up. Oh, well, let's make him comfortable. And then they put him in the thing that he can do, and he goes to lighten up yardage again. Like the completions and the and the yards.
But you tell him like Coach said, these people, I don't count people pockets, but you telling me it's no way you could test them out in practice, show them looks that might come in the future.
Listen, bro.
If we just finding out his weaknesses in week 3, like what are we doing?
Well, he looks good in practice.
Okay, but
that's what I'm talking about practice.
Okay, but okay, let's check this out. With Coach say about the blitz pickup and change of protections. When we played Bama, Bryce Young didn't play yet. He knew what he was doing at the line. So how come? Like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, because Bryce Young is head and shoulders better.
No,
than
he's
TVD.
100%. But I'm saying he obviously saw it in practice to know what he's doing in the game. How come we didn't have as TVD not saw blitzes to know what to do in practice?
So TVD struggles the first 3 games with blitzes.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying.
I think. Listen, I don't. You're trying to say that they should have known who TVD was before they got on the field.
You're not. You're gonna the game gonna tell you more, of course. But I'm saying you telling me how are the people that's seeing him every day just finding out his weaknesses when we are? That's crazy.
No, I'm sorry, Mehdi. I just want to say this quick to your point, and I want to say, but you actually brought up a great point. when you're in practice, they have a script. And in that script, when you meet, I'm going to meet as a coordinator, you meet as a coordinator. Hey, man, so what do you want me to run here, coach, on this play? Hey, can you give me a cover 3 look? All right, coach, whatever. Can you give me a cover 2 look? Can you bring a hot guy off the outside? Can you do this? Can you do that? Sometimes they have a play it section, but for the most part, it's scripted based on what people do. Now, I have to say this. I don't know this to be a fact about him, but I know a lot of offensive guys and defensive guys do this. They are more worried about winning the day than like winning the battle and not the war. What do I mean? They want to win that day in practice because it looks good in front of all of the good people, right? And everybody looks good. But when the war comes on Saturday, it's not good because you put yourself only in good situations Monday through Friday, right? And tell me the street, you've been in practice. I guarantee you're going to say yes. When they play, I guarantee Frank Ponce is standing right behind them when they snap the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, because he's standing there, because he's standing there, and I don't know if this is true, he could be walking him through pre-snap reads, right? All right, look, man, blah, blah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you never take the training wheels off until it's time to get into the war, you're going to suffer. And I've seen things like this happen. So in practice, he looks great. I want to win when it's on game film. Mario Cristobal, super excited. Everybody excited. We go there like, God dang, what the hell happened?
Right.
So I just want to say, I'm
I
sorry,
was
Maddie.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just about to ask you that question. I was going to ask you, how do you turn the intensity up in practice in order to simulate what you're going to experience in the game? And you said it. If you got your QB coach telling you, "Hey, man, you got to slide the protection over here. It's too high safeties." You get what I'm saying? Like, he's making those adjustments for you. And I'm not saying that that's what was happening in practice,
Right.
but based
It's
on what we see,
yeah. Right.
when those reads do come up in the game, we're not seeing primarily TVD, but our quarterbacks in general make the necessary adjustments.
I think it's the reason NFL teams travel to other people's camp that last week.
But we talk about reads and throws.
And they go scrimmage. I think it's the reason they do that. Dog, listen, you're practicing against the same fucking defense over and over again. The same guys. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason they go travel and scrimmage another camp for like a week, right?
Right.
Because that other camp don't give a fuck about you and your quarterback, or you and your feelings, or you and your emotions, or you and what you're trying to accomplish. That's another color. They're another squad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you say they should have found out in spring, I don't think anybody that was looking at TVD from Mario to fucking Kirk Herbstreit saw his weaknesses.
That's but to me that's a problem.
I mean, we see quarterbacks struggle all the time.
You saying he playing against the same people? That's cool. You telling me they not practicing looks versus zero blitz in practice?
Listen, we used to watch De'Aaron team go 12 on 12, right? I mean 11 on 11, right? Light they ass the fuck up in practice. They could not stop De'Aaron King, bro. Y'all heard me say it numerous times. Mm-hmm. Light them up. Was he unstoppable in the air in the game? Hell no. I don't
know. But again, Street, what is the script, right? The script is he knows, for example, right? Let's just say he knows, not necessarily knowing the play, but he knows that this read and this is the great look. Like this is the look you want to see. I've seen offensive coaches, dog. I remember being at New Orleans, bro. I lined the linebacker up. The offensive coordinator stopped the play to move the linebacker over. Guess how far, dog? 1 yard. Because he said he's not going to line up like that, coach. He's going to line up like this. Negro, is you serious? Why? Because he didn't want him to have the outside leverage on the kid. He wanted him to be right there on inside leverage. The question is, what if he does line up outside? I'm telling you, I've seen this, dog.
Right.
I have seen guys.
Because it's so competitive. It's about winning. Right?
The day and not the war.
Yeah. Right. No, right. I mean, you're right. But listen, man, we've been here for a long, long, long time. I'm gonna go across the panel, man, if y'all want to get something out. And we're gonna go ahead and get up and get out of here. It's a process though, and we in it. You can't speed it up. You can't speed it up. There's going to be a lot of bodies gone next year, coaches and kids. I'm willing to bet that for numerous different reasons. But it's a process, man. You can't speed it up, man. So before we get out of here, Maddie, you want to say something, bro?
They had me in purgatory for a minute, so I
in purgatory.
I ain't forgot some thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? But nah,
you want to think about it? I'll come back to you.
Yeah, you come back.
All right. Anything you want to get out? Rich Hayes already had a 3-hour.
I'm sorry, I'm hot.
a 3-hour show, and jump back on here to just say I'm hot, dog. Anything, Rich, you want to get out?
Man, I just want to say we got 5 to 6 weeks left of hot garbage, and God, I just.
Hey, remember I was asking y'all what the 6-0 season gonna look like? We didn't know it was gonna start off like this. We 0-1 in the 6-0.
We did.
In the 6-game season, we 0-1. Anything you want to say, KB?
I know Jake Garcia gonna sleep.
Yeah, man. Listen, y'all just take it game by game, examine the game from game to game. Every game is gonna be different, man, from game by game. Y'all gonna feel a lot better when we go up there and beat the shit out of FSU. So just take it game by game, understanding that we building, and that's it, bro.
KB said take it game by game.
I saw that look from Coach Hayes.
You got something you want to say, Maddie?
Yeah, I told y'all at the beginning of the year, temper expectations. That seemed like a fucking lifetime ago now. I still stand on that construct. I've been said it. I don't say nothing I don't mean. I was gonna say something E1 about the offense decision, right? I don't know what the status is with TVD. I want to see an opportunity for Jake to get starter reps, to actually get in the game and not having to play hero or catch up. If the defense is not doing their job, I want to see his defense wake the hell up. I want to see us getting somebody back from injury that can actually provide us with some type of actual legitimate pass block, pass rush. I don't know, something, but something got to change. I'm not giving no expectations or counting no seasons and none of that, but I'm looking forward to seeing something different.
Oh, that's my first time seeing it close. Ooh, look at that boy with the Michael Jordan on it. Look at him. Now here's the play right here.
Bro, look, stop, pause it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go back to the beginning. See the light-skinned dude that tackled him? He's on the line. He's telling you I'm coming, bro. Nah, don't worry about it. Come on. I bet you won't. Look at this.
Right there, the ball has to be out. Right there. The ball has to be out. I mean, jeez.
Listen,
looking for?
Give it to any one of these three, right?
He looking for Kobe. That's why they should have put Kobe in the backfield.
Looking for who? Right. Kobe. Dog, that's my issue, dog. Like I really believe that it's. I know E1. I be seeing you in the chat while I'm out there working, saying, man, everybody look at one wide receiver, dog. It has something. The way TVD plays quarterback, something bothers me about the way he plays quarterback, bro.
I'm not saying
mesh concepts. It's another mesh concept. You got to wait for Tyler Van Dyke, Mallory to get all the way across. You got to wait for this dude to get all the way across. And you got to not block that dude. Look, you're waiting for everybody to
this right here, Lasson. This is Lasson right here. This is 3-week forever wide receiver right here. Lasson, right? You forgot about Lasson. Why
Lasson's got to get to where number 30 is. That's got his hand up. Mallory has to go to nobody's cleared yet. That's what I'm saying.
Who is this right here? Rooster with his hand up?
Yes.
Yeah, out in the flat. That ball should have been out.
Right in his eyesight, right?
Yeah, but that's no. Go back.
Maybe these dude guys are super fast. So maybe that's what it is.
Anybody's super fast if you ain't blocking no street. Watch the dude. He's unblocked. Watch him. Nobody touches him. He's clean as whistle, dog. What I'm trying to say, go back. The reason he doesn't throw it to Rooster is the outlet. Rooster is if the mesh concept is not there. If you don't block this, you don't have time for the mesh concept to develop. Look, pause it. They just get cleared. So now, once it's cleared, it ain't there. Now you throw it to Rooster. He feels it like, oh snap. Let me look. These two are just on top of each other. Go look at Mallory. They're right on top.
So he finna throw that ball to Mallory?
No, he was probably gonna throw it here. I got my mouse like y'all can see it. My bad. I got excited. He was gonna throw it. He was gonna throw it to Mallory, or he's gonna remember Rooster is the outlet. He's not the initial throw.
Yeah,
He is if everybody's blocked, he'll turn and throw it to Rooster. He's the check down.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the initial throw.
I think it's 1 Mallory, 2 Latson, then 3 Rooster. I think that's the progression.
Man,
But
that's
guys,
a
if you
shovel
feel
pass.
pressure, don't you just instinctively have to say, get the ball out?
I can agree
even if you just throw it away.
Yes, Kim.
Yeah, you at war. I mean,
because plays are designed in terms of best case scenario. But if a guy is running free and you're not Michael Vick or Fran Tarkenton, you know what? Let me get the Rooster.
I don't think he saw the dude that's behind him. I think he saw the safety. Go back street a little bit. I don't think he ever really saw the defensive end. He saw the safety flash.
Of course he didn't see him because if he sees him, because if his lineman picked him up, normally a lineman would scream, hey, he's free, or he broke, or watch out, or something. But because he was unblocked, because they all playing their assignments that don't include him, because there wasn't a pre-snap read, that dude came untouched, backside, blew the play up. Of course he didn't see him.
He saw the safety that's rolling down. That's at the 0 right now on the 30.
Yeah.
See the safety? But see, hold on. Mallory should see this. Your pre-snap is telling you, your peripheral say, this dude is coming down hard right now. Not saying he's going to blitz. But anyway, man.
So is Mallory going to shift back into the play and block? Hell no. Mallory going to run this route.
No. What I'm saying is that's the play right there where TVD should have said stop. TVD says slide left, right? He's an unblocked guy. And then if I know if I'm going to look to my right, I can now be accountable as the quarterback for the brother that's standing on the edge. He's the now 6th man. If you look at it the other way, the dude at the top is the 6th man. But if you know your pre-snap read is taking your eyes this way, how are you going to be accountable for the blind side? So what do? Send everybody away to my blind side, and I'll take care of the guy coming straight to me. I can see him. I can throw it hot, throw it now, throw it away.
So he's just looking off right here, right? Because he's finna come back to.
He going through his regular like the blitz ain't coming. He going through his regular progression like the blitz ain't coming.
And then he saw the blitz. Come back to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He should. Well, Hayes is saying he should adjust pre-snap, but he didn't. So he went through this like it wasn't no blitz.
Let's say the blitz ain't there, right? And we got to get out of here. Come on, people hungry. Let's say the blitz isn't there. TVD is totally facing to the right, right? And then he was going to look back and throw the ball to Mallory.
I think
it may have been a throwback. I think he was going to check. I think Latson was going to sit down right there on that hash.
Because look at him. He's totally. He totally sold. Hey, he just looking nobody out. He totally sold to throw to the right. He's going to throw that ball to the right. He wasn't coming back to the left.
Well, if it's there, then.
But we don't ever see TVD really like do that. Like he's totally sold. He was going to throw this ball to the right.
And 30 sees it. He let him know. Come on, man. He may have. I don't know.
Okay, who was he? Okay, right. I mean, is somebody else over there? Who's over there? Somebody else? Okay, no. So it's nobody else over there, right? 83 finna go in motion.
The bunch set.
Who, dog? Who was he finna throw that ball to?
Look like Redding. He's staring.
Redding look like he's picking the motherfucker or something. I don't know.
He is. He's not doing that. His eyes are sitting there. He's waiting for Latson to come into view. He's doing it to hold the safety over there.
He's waiting for Latson to come across.
Or he's going to hold that safety to turn back to throw back towards to Mallory. He may have done that. But where he's looking to keep the guy off. It's not a progression. He knows the route combination. I'm just looking this way until it clears. Because they don't block the guy and never get a chance to clear. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So he was eventually going to switch his feet and turn back and throw that ball to Mallory if that pocket was clean.
He was going to throw between those two in my eyes. He may have thrown it to Latson sitting right in front of him because it's only 3rd and 4. He's trying to. It's a stick play. Get to the underneath dude. Why is that important? Because if anybody's following Mallory, Mallory's going to pick off whoever's following Latson, but nobody follows Latson. See that? So that corner sitting there waiting. You don't see him. It looked like Mallory's wide open, but you see that little shadow over the 30? He's off the screen right now. That cornerback. He's sitting there waiting on that, bro. See the 30-yard line? See that little black dot right on the edge of your screen?
Mm-hmm. And who's guarding Latson?
Mm-hmm.
That's the look off. He's going to sit right at the 4-yard line.
I said who's guarding him?
Whoever's going to come that side. This may be another blown coverage. Look, it's another blown coverage. Nobody.
Right. Nobody's guarding Latson.
So it's a great play call. Crappy execution.
Where the fuck did Latson man go?
He backed straight up and waiting for Mallory. See him?
So we're not mad at Gaddis no more?
No, I'm mad at Gaddis because of the protection. I never said anything about play calling. I said protection.
Okay, so listen to me, Hayes. So Latson isn't even ready to catch this ball right here, right? When is Latson supposed to catch this ball?
Right when he gets to the upright, right
here. They'll say he looks right here,
right in through there.
But the motherfucker was hoping the whole play, like he was wide open.
Yeah, but you don't see all that. It's too shallow. Right. You won't see that. He's only 3 yards from the offensive line. He's too shallow to throw.
But what's weird to me is that if he was supposed to throw that ball to Latson, right? He started the play.
Should he have sat down earlier?
Hold on, I can't. What'd you say, Street? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Should he have sat down earlier? Because he was wide open. Is what KB just said.
Yeah, but you're sitting down in the mesh. He's only 3 yards from bro. Right now, it's 12 people standing in front of TVD. If you throw that ball, you're going to hit somebody in the back of the head, or you rainbow. You understand what I'm saying? It's not enough space. That's why you can't. It's too shallow of a route. You can't throw that. You hit a dude who went in motion and went right back out. Watch 83 go in motion, and he's going to come back out the hash. Watch him. Everybody's going to work outside. See there? So he's looking at 83. So the conflict, back to his book, is 83 and Latson. This guy has to make a decision with the white glove on at the 30-yard line. Does he come up on Latson?
This message was brought to you by Coach Hayes. Go.
That right there is, guess what? You have now run out of coins. Please deposit 25 cents. Your game is over.
Game over.
YouTube, that ain't me. That's Kim and Hayes.
That's a collarbone, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he grabbed it.
That's the play right there I was talking about. James Williams don't wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, my God. Look at this guy, man. And I feel bad.
Listen, at this point, we've been having problem with the blitz for a long time now. So I'll start with Gaddis. You know what I'm saying? And 2, I guess you can say the offensive line switching and hurt and everybody all beat up. You know what I'm saying? But it has to start with that because we've been having problems with the blitz since
week 2.
Yeah. But we heard them say that our offensive line looked very good the first 5, and then after the 5, they were saying this in the scrimmages.
First 5 what? First 5 what? Game?
First 5 looked good in the game, right? The offensive lineman. Our first 3 offensive linemen looked good in the scrimmages before the season started, but after that it was a big drop off.
Starters. So
now we're dealing with this. Now we've had to put. I think Big Baby started today at center, didn't he?
Oh my God! Is that number 50, dog? Is that 50? Is that number 50?
Seymour.
Is that number 50? I don't know his name.
Yeah, it's long.
Baby Seymour.
All right, guard.
Yeah.
I'm hot.
Talk your shit, Coach. Yeah, you ready for another?
Coach, you gonna break it? He gonna break it down to good, bad, ugly, man. He can't let everything out right now, man. Let's get up out of here, man. My lady needs some lamb from Brio. It's ugly. I need a drink. I don't know what happened today, dog. Like I don't know what happened today, dog. That was a weird one, but it's a process, man. Kim, you want to say anything, though?
Yeah, let's just keep the faith and look. Here's my view. The rest of the season, Let's go with the Utes. UTES, the Utes. Let's get the young guys. Let's figure out who wants to play football, who wants to be a Miami Hurricane. Let's see who's in the long-term future. That's all I can say.
They
Let's
all
get up out of here,
young.
man. I appreciate y'all, man. Hit the like button for us, share for us, man. And I appreciate all y'all, bro. Say it one more time, Hayes. I'm hot.
One more for the road, please.
Do
I
it for
can't
us.
do this, dog. I can't, man. I be standing in the corner at night, dog. I can't, dog. $2.5 million, bro. $2 million for this? Man, let me get 10% of that, cuz. I'll be your ghostwriter like Drake. Give me 10%. And I'll be your ghostwriter, dog.
And shout out to Medi, man. Medi did his thing last night, man. Medi did his thing last night at the Central Columbus game, which was a crazy game. Miami Central jumped out 35-7, talking trash at halftime. We thought we were going to get a running clock. Me and Medi was going to go to Papa John's, get us some pizza. And then Columbus arrives at halftime. They arrive at halftime.
Whatever the fuck they had in the locker room at Columbus, they need that shit in Coral Gables. The dumb boys came out.
And shows up for the game at halftime and cuts it down to a 7-point game. Great game, man. We saw Stanquan. We got to see number 1 linebacker in the nation, TJ Capers. We got to see Keywan Jenkins, lights out the quarterback. But Miami Central just was too much for them on the outside. Seymour, little brother, Lamar Seymour, 150 yards in the second quarter, right, Mady?
Yeah, he a dog, man. Maybe this guy had the same. I don't know how we let him get away. He can't lead the city.
We stopped taking his calls.
He can't lead the city.
Hey, we say that now. We say that now, and then he go to mine and be like, "They soft. They soft. They soft. They ain't got no heart. They soft."
Mady, don't forget what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Cedric Irvin Jr. turn it up in the fourth quarter. You saw Lawrence Seymour. 3rd down and 85-yard bomb, and it ended up right. Reddy was talking about, damn, Streeter, how you know to be in the right place? Man, Mady, I've been doing this for 10 years, bro. You think you finna just come out here and shoot like me? I've been doing this for a long time with these cell phones.
I was trying, man. I was trying.
How you? But no, bro, what you saw, I've seen plenty of players perform on that stage, and you're not going to tell me, you can't tell me they get to the next level and then they just forget how to play. Maybe sometimes they get into other things. You know what I'm saying? Maybe sometimes they lose interest. Maybe sometimes they see it and they're like, oh, man, I ain't know football was going to be this much work. I just liked it when it was fun. And sometimes they fall off. But I'll keep going, man. There's been a lot of players that Miami never touched went other places and they ended up dogs or didn't even recruit. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up dogs. So, yeah, man, shout out to Medi. Y'all go check out the Footballville Twitter. All those tweets from Medi. Medi must be took a Twitter course or something, man. He was tweeting his ass off. He was talking about bites and this and I talking, and Keywan Jenkins' favorite food is poking beans and winnies. Yeah, all type of information. I was like, look at this man killing it, dog. This man was killing it. So, shout out to him, man.
Good job, man. Good job.
Appreciate it.
Y'all don't cry yourself to sleep, man. Go get you some Jack and Coke or something, bro. And I appreciate y'all, all right?
All right. Good night, fellas.
No.
All right, man. 786-459-499. If you want to get down with the IOD squad, text IOD. If you've been trying to talk about crypto, you're trying to figure out what NFTs are, any of that stuff, man. We talk about all that on the platform. If you want to become a football villain and get down with some access to some of the information, behind the scenes stuff we put out, hit the join button down there, or the link should be in the description, man. I'm D. Don't put off tomorrow something you could do today. The rest of your life could be seconds away. I have no excuses for what happened today. 8 turnovers. That just was bad football. Mario was hired to fix it. It's his problem now. You got to fix it. I'm out of here, bro.